Welcome to round 10 of the NEAFL. We have an inter-clash here between Belconnen Magpies of Eastern and Broadbeach Cats of Northern. It is Belconnen sitting in second position, Broadbeach sitting in eighth. And it could be an interesting game out here. Brett, beautiful conditions, and we're looking at two sides. One side who is well established in the top five, another team who needs to win this round to keep at the door.
Absolutely. Of course, Broadbeach travelling down from the sunny Gold Coast, wearing the away strip today in their uncustomary orange, normally in the Geelong colours, but clashes with the Belconnen jumpers. An interesting clash. Last start loses to the Northern Territory Thunder, but looking for an improved performance. Talking to the coaches and the club officials, they're looking forward to the clash and testing their might against that of Belconnen, who were last start winners against Hills Eagles in Sydney.
Yeah, they've had a fantastic start to the season. Belconnen would be the most improved team in 2013 as the ruckman went at it. That was Porter and Clark. They'll go again. They probably ruck most of the afternoon. Ball comes down. Broadbeach try and get the ball out of it. It should be too high, surely. Umpire circles, not paid. Unlucky there, the Broadbeach player. Thought he was taken high. That player was Geary.
Of course, yes, that's a player that we should watch is Cal Geary, a standout draft prospect from the Bendigo Pioneers, gone up to Broadbeach, unlucky not to be drafted, holds some of the draft camp records, certainly here in Canberra anyway, Michael, but a player to watch. Of course, his brother listed with St Kilda club, Jaron Geary, so a player to watch out there as we go back to the football.
Loken gets the ball deep in the forward line. It's gone. I'm not sure how it's gone through. We're very obscured here, but that was a Loken around on the left, kicks the first goal of the afternoon. And we'll remind our viewers that we are fairly obscured here in the box, so apologies if we do miss a few things, but that's a great goal and a great start to Belconnen.
Absolutely good form to Matthew Loken. He started the season in a blaze of glory. He's probably one of the most formed players in the competition, Michael. So, he's had a great start to season 2013.
There's no doubt he's one of the reasons why Belconnen sits second on the Eastern ladder. Looking to keep pressure on the Sydney Swans, who are atop of the perch. Porter again in the ruck for Belconnen. Clark for Broadbeach. Clark gets a tap down, comes out to his teammate in Geary around the corner to half forward line. Good punch away by the Belconnen defence, but first there is Greeley. On the right boot is Greeley. How's the reply? Just missed it to the left-hand side. But good work out of the middle there from Broadbeach, Brett, and they'll need plenty of that this afternoon.
Absolutely. As you can see, there is quite a small distance between the centre square and the goal square. So I think kicking down towards that Kippax end, Michael, gives you a little bit of advantage here at Kippax. Certainly in the games that we've called this year here, the UWS Giants and also Belconnen, when they kicked to that end, it was multiple scoring options down there.
Haley has a ball, centre half forward. It's a good looking kick. Will it get to his target? No, it doesn't. In there for Belconnen is Porter. He goes to the outer side. It could be a 2v1 here. Punch away by the Belconnen player. Comes to ground. First there was Harper. Got the handball. Chain of handballs in the hands of Curtis now. Goes to half forward line. Loken runs into the open goal. That's his second. And Belconnen have the fast start they wanted. It is 2 goals straight to Broadbeach, 1 behind. Good sport on the half-back line there by the Belconnen player, Brett.
Absolutely. What he did do is he punched it right back into the centre of the corridor to the running wingman of Curtis, who's probably been the form player in the competition, along with Matthew Loken. So that's a couple of the major reasons, along with James Bennett, why the Magpies are sitting second on the ladder. And as you can see, Loken with 2 goals on the board early. A very impressive start. Very tall player is Simon Curtis to play on the wing. He's a hard player to match up on, and really looking forward to seeing him in the representative colours in the coming weeks at Sydney versus Tasmania.
He's very versatile too. Usually plays across the half-back line, so the rep side have definitely got someone who they can shift around. But here at the Nest, it is Belconnen 2 straight, Broadbeach 1 behind. Not a good bounce by the umpire. It's got to come back. And it gives us an opportunity just to have a bit of a chat about some of the Broadbeach players. Ex-Tuggeron boy, Benny Hancock's out there today, Brett. A couple of guys have been involved with the Suns as well. Crawford delisted from the Suns, and Burton, an ex-Suns Academy player. So they've definitely got some good young cattle out there. It's just a matter of whether they can put it together all in the 120 minutes here at the Nest.
Absolutely. Also, the number 2 in Rory Walton. He was a premiership player at Claremont last year in the Waffle. And also congratulations to a couple of the younger players in their 51st grade games today in the 19, Adam McKenzie, and the number 20, Josh Searle. So they both reached their 50-game milestone. Also to Dean Ralston, notches up 150 for East Lake today against the Sydney Uni, which is a fantastic achievement, these milestone games. So good luck to all those players.
Ball's on the wing, grandstand wing here at the Nest. Handball comes out. Great work there by Broadbeach. Got the interception. McConaughey into the forward line. Good work there in front for Belconnen. That good mark taken there by Hegarty. Ball goes across the ground now. Mark taken by Curtis. Just slows the play down. Kicks it to the wing now. Looking for his teammate. That's a very good mark taken out there on the wing. Belconnen moving the ball quite well. They go short. Mark taken there. Could be Sharp. Gets the ball on the inside. Loose player out here on the grandstand wing in Talisman. He can go. He can take and go and does. Looks towards the half-forward line now. Who's there for Belconnen? Player goes to ground. Umpire's paid a free kick. That is Chris York. That was a dubious free kick at best, but he's got the ball. He's kicked 21 goals this year so far, Brett, so he's obviously very, very dangerous. With he and Loken down there, it's a pretty formidable duo.
Absolutely fresh off a 10-goal bag last week in Sydney. Didn't do the best there, but it's followed up there by Lexi Bennett, who's been in impressive form, but it's a free kick here to the Broadbeach defender. I didn't see what that was for, but as they go through, down through the number 17, Ryan Pantic at half-back flank. He elects to switch the ball across the opposite side. They slow the ball down, and it's a poor handball over to the run there of Benny Hancock, of course, the former Tuggeranong player. Over there now to Nick Scott. Nick Scott's got a decision to make. He comes back into the middle of the corridor. He loses his flight. The player he was looking for. That's a poor kick off the boot there, but it looks like it's going to come off there from the former Sydney Uni player, and Adam McConaughey, of course, the captain for the Sydney Uni last year. As the whistle goes in the middle of the ground, it's out to Bennett. Bennett, who just chops it across there to Loken. Loken in the green boots. He takes a sidestep, comes into that favoured left foot. He puts it deep into the goals there, and I don't think it was touched there by Geordie Harper. No, it's just been rushed through by the there of Ben Wells from the Broadbeach Cats. So a rush behind for the Belconnen Magpies. Unlucky there not to get his third goal was Matthew Loken. He's really started the game in fine fashion, hasn't he?
They do look very dangerous going forward. He and York will be the main targets. Mark taken here by, might be Pantic again. Switches play. Just slowing the play down here. Good tempo footy by Broadbeach. They've been hit pretty hard in the opening 10 minutes. Belconnen look very, very dangerous with the football going forward. Good mark taken there. Goes towards the middle. Not taken there by Greeley. Picked off there by Donahue. It's about 60 metres out from goal. Goes deep into the forward line. Loken can't take the mark. It's picked off there by Stewart. Goes to ground. This could be a trip. Loken. Good underground handball. Comes out to Bohm. Good smother there by the Broadbeach defender. He should just see the ball over the line. He keeps it in, does he? No, he doesn't. There's really good defending there by the player. It might have been Crawford, I think. Really good defending there, Brett. But they do look dangerous, Belconnen, every time they go forward with Matt Loken down there in front of the sticks.
Absolutely. But you did say a very important point there, is they are controlling the footy when they're getting it in their hands, and that's what they need to do to slow the scoreboard pressure down. Belconnen obviously very quick out of the blocks, and to slow the scoreboard pressure down, you just control the footy. Just their skills have let them down at this early stage. It looks like it's a little bit dewy out there as a couple of players have lost their feet, probably wearing the moulded soles and not the screw-in sprigs. It won't please the coaching staff, who I believe, of course, is none other than Ricky Pettard's father, Wayne, next to us in the coach's box as the assistant coach for the Broadbeach Catch. Of course, coached by Matthew Angus, the former Claremont under-18 coach, and formerly of the Gold Coast Suns. He did a fair bit of work there up with Bluey McKenna, but it's out to Lexi Bennett there, and I think he's put that one out of bounds on the full. He has, just in front of Des. It didn't quite make the target, so that's a free kick to the Cats, deep in the back pocket. They bring it across the goals. Now they can run it through the middle of the ground there through Pantic again, as he comes up through the middle of the ground, right at the centre square, as they bring the ball forward, and it's the Broadbeach player goes down, but it's Jake Greeley who takes it on, and I think he snapped truly there, Jake Greeley. That's a great snap off the pack there. Well done, Jake Greeley. Read it well off hands. That's his first goals. That's the Broadbeach Cats' first as well, so they claw the scoreboard back. That was a good good run in the transition from... They almost went coast to coast there.
Yeah, really good play there. Much needed goal by Jake Greeley, the former Frankston boy, and that'll do them a world of confidence. They've taken about 10 minutes to settle down, but they definitely have started to get their hands on the football a little bit more, controlling the tempo, and it's good to see. 2-1-13 to Belconnen. Broadbeach are 1-1-7. Got to say, what a marvellous day it is for end of May. We're sitting at probably 10 degrees at the moment, hoping for a high of 18. May not sound real high to some of these people up north, but down here in Canberra it is sensational. Porter in the ruck against Clark. Neither ruckman really got an effective tap. Ball comes out now to Curtis. Goes deep into attack, looking for Loken again. He's made really good position. He's a problem down there already. Jake Crawford has his hands full. Loken just read the ball a lot better in flight. Used his body nicely, and he should go back and kick his third. And you wonder, Brett, whether the coach's box are thinking of a change.
Absolutely. He's quite a difficult matchup, Loken, because you saw on that occasion there what he did do is he got actually behind the player and he actually allowed the ball to come to the drop zone behind him, and he's done that on a couple of occasions. He's just very clever at running his opponent under the footy. That's his third, and that's the Magpies' third, so it's a solid start for Matty Loken. He is a form player in the competition at this probably quarter mark of the season, would you suggest?
He just looks a lot fitter than last year too, Brett, and obviously his team's up and running and he's getting a lot more opportunities. I remember last year, because his team wasn't quite where he would like them to be, he spent a lot of time drifting across the half back line, and he's obviously an ex-Collingwood boy, played for Port Adelaide Magpies where he was their full forward, was their key target, so he knows how to kick goals and that's his preferred position. So his team's up and running at the moment, and he can allow himself to be at full forward where he can dominate, and he's doing so in the opening stanza here.
Well said. It's he did have a little bit of groin soreness last year, osteopubis, so he seems to be over that trouble, but he's certainly proving a handful for young Crawford down there in the back half. That's Love who clears the footy away. It's only as far as Taylor Haley, that is Taylor Haley for the Broadbeach Cats. He gets it over there to Nathan Quick as you like. He gets it down towards that of it's Adam McConaughey, the former Sydney Uni captain, and it goes straight down there into the hands of I think it's Jake Crawford, who's drift forward now, so they might have made the change there on Loken, but it's only the Belconnen defenders, and that's a great gutsy mark there taken by James Bennett. Bennett over that of Hector, Damien Hector, of course, named the Rising Star during the week, and that was a great honour here, the former Terralgan boy, and it's over now to Turnbull, Bugsy Turnbull, and he gets a quick handball away over there towards that of I think it's Luke Donahue out there, and he gets a quick kick forward out towards that of Des and Chris York, and it's only as far as the boundary line. And we do apologise, it is quite difficult to see from the commentary box up here, and we are relying solely on, what would you call, 1-inch monitors?
Oh, it's like a postage stamp at the moment. We're used to 60-odd and 70-odd inch TVs. We do have a postage stamp, but we'll do our best. And we do hope that you're enjoying the telecast so far. Good punch away by the Broadbeach ruckman. They should clear now by hand. He does get it up now. Haley by foot. Good looking pass. Mark not taken there by Emery. Spins around nicely. Has a teammate there. Might have been Hancock. Hancock goes for the short pass. It's gone too far and has gone out of bounds on the full. You touched on it earlier, Brett. Just some of their skills not quite where it wants to be, and that's a poor kick as well. Broadbeach can go into their forward line. Mark taken here by Hancock. Slows play down. They've got a big unit down there. It's a good looking pass. How's the mark? Good mark taken there by Nathan Quick. And he should be able to go back and kick from just on the 50-metre line. Attempt for his first of the afternoon and Broadbeach's second.
It was actually a really good play there from Hancock. He picked the right matchup there. Code, obviously the smaller player. He knew that Quick was quite good over his head, so he did pick the right matchup. And it's up to now to Nathan Quick to reward Manny Hancock's good thought process. And that's a lovely looking kick off the boot, but I think it's going to drift to the left-hand side, so that's his first score for the afternoon. But they're putting scoreboard pressure on now, the Broadbeach Cats, so if they can get it here now, this will be a good reward for effort.
They've definitely got back into the game. First 10 minutes was all Belconnen. You just feel that Belconnen looked really dangerous in their full line. Good punch away there by the defender there, or the attacker in Geary. Good defensive play by he, and the ball goes out of bounds. Left forward pocket for Broadbeach. Could have a 7-pointer here. And that's what they've probably trained to Trained for. Clark with the tap. Shark there by Coates. Kick smothered. Picked up by Turnbull. Good movement out of defence here by Belconnen. They do it by hand. That's not a good handball. Could come unstuck. Bennett's there for Belconnen. Has a player out wide, loose on the wing. That player is Donahue. Donahue goes short to the fast lead of Loken. Loken, all sorts of trouble down there for Broadbeach. The kick wasn't good. It was smothered. The attack now through Walton. Walton on the right boot. Goes to the half-foot line. Again, it's a grubby-looking kick. Lucks of fortune. There's a few Broadbeach players there. They're fighting hard for the football. Handball comes out. Broadbeach now flying shot at goal. Not going to have the legs. Coates is down there for Belconnen, and he takes a relieving mark.
Only as far as over to his teammate in there in Matthew Sharp. Sharp on the left foot. Over there towards that of Jai Bomb. Bomb into the middle of the ground looking for Harper. Had too much on it for him. Over there to the Broadbeach defender in Nick Scott. Scott only as far as Bunyan for Belconnen. So, no, sorry, it's not Bunyan. It is Ryan Turnbull over there for Belconnen. So it's the number 46 for the Belconnen Magpies. He dilly-dallies around in the middle of the ground and goes sideways to Hegarty. Of course, Hegarty, a good article on him in today's Canberra Times, written by David Polkinghorn about the fresh opportunities for the Acer. And that's a great interception mark there. And that's a great goal to the 50-gamer in Josh Searle. That'll please the coaching staff. That's what you call forward pressure. So that's what you get when you muck around with the footy in the middle of the ground, a turnover. That results in a goal. So well done to the Broadbeach Cats. They bring up their second and now only trail the Magpies by 5 points.
Yes, if you're going to go short in defence, you've got to make sure you hit targets. And the ball was well read by the 50-gamer in Josh Searle. And he went and smothered the ball and kicked his first. So it's been a good 10 minutes by Broadbeach. They've definitely got themselves back into the game. And it's going to be game on here at the Nest. I don't think either coaches would be really happy with the skill level so far. We've had a lot of missed targets, some poor decision-making. But it's made for an interesting opening 16 minutes here at Kipax. This coach's ring changes. We've got the ball back in the middle now. The big fella in the ruck in Brewer. He is a big, big boy. Not going to get out of that tackle when he grabs you, that's for sure. Had Nick Scott for help. And good luck in there, Jai Bone, because Brewer is one of the biggest fellas I've seen. And he's only a young fella too, a representative under-21 player for Queensland, so he's got a lot of football ahead of him. Ball comes out to McConaughey. Can't find the handle, eventually does. Good hands there by Broadbeach. Back in the hands of McConaughey again. Goes via the hand. The kick now to the half-forward line. Looking for their tall timber down there in Emery. Can't take the mark. He had 2 to beat. Spoil comes. Belconnen. Oh, he's just dropped that like a hot potato. Should have been caught for holding the ball. Picked up now by Bennett. Gets the handball out to Coate. Coate now goes to Bone. Falls over. Opportunity now for a Broadbeach. They will mount another attack here. They go deep into the pocket. Looking for the leading player. Can't take the mark. Could punch away by the Belconnen defence. Coate now, just around the corner. Nice little dinky kick to Turnbull. Turnbull goes inboard to Bennett. Lexi Bennett now. Goes one way, goes the other. Goes towards Bohm. Bohm now. Goes out wide. The switch is on. If he can find the handle, he can run. He does so. Picked up now by Hector. Hector into the forward line. Good pass and good lead. And the mark taken by Bunyan.
Bunyan plays on quickly down towards that of Loken. Loken misses what he should have taken. Strong tackle there from Andrew Dess, but it's cleaned up there by the Broadbeach defender, and a good contest there by Luke Shreve. He should have punched instead of going for the mark. Just allowed the Belconnen forward to get a quick handball away over to Nick Collins. Collins down towards Loken, but he was overruled this time by the 2 defenders, and it's going to be taken away there by Darren Stewart. Stewart brings it down to the far side out towards that of Benny Hancock. Relieves a bit of the pressure on the defensive back 6 for Broadbeach, but they've controlled the play, Michael, so they've actually done quite well in this opening last 8 minutes after Belconnen had all the play in the first 10 minutes of the quarter. So as we get back to the footy here, and it's not... It just annoys me sometimes that they turn the ball over in the middle of the ground when they should look up and look over to the next line.
Both sides are doing that so far. As we said, it's fairly dewy on the ground. Cold morning here in Canberra, so we can excuse players a little bit, but just some of the basic errors as Loken again. Has he pushed him out? No, he hasn't. He's looked around at the umpire straight away, but Loken's taken the mark. Crawford just doesn't seem to have the body strength of Loken. And Loken, chance to go back and kick his 4th. And what a start that'd be. 4 goals in the opening 19 minutes of the first term. He's staring at a big bag this afternoon if he continues this form.
Absolutely, he'll have his tail up going in as we ride it home as he rides the left foot. He likes it off the boot. You betcha he does. That's his fourth. He's kicked all of Belconnen's scores, so fantastic effort and a great start there by the coach in Matthew Loken. Of course, as you said, playing in his preferred role of full forward. Last year he was forced to fill a few holes because they didn't have the class around certain parts of the ground, but they've made some significant steps to recruit those weaknesses over the off-season. Of course, there was a lovely article on Damien Hector, who was nominated as the Rising Star. Of course, Drew McGrath, the boys from Traralgon. Of course, getting a couple of favourite sons back to the club in James Bennett and Lexi Bennett certainly helps. And of course, Josh Hegarty, who made the representative squad this year, and a lovely article in today's Canberra Times, as we mentioned earlier. So they're on the improve, belying their second spot on the ladder in the or Eastern Conference. So a fantastic effort by the Magpies to date in season 2013, as James Bennett is wrapped up in the middle of the ground there, or is it Lexi Bennett? It's Lexi Bennett as he gets helped up there by Drew McGrath. As the umpire throws it up again, it's Big Porter. He manhandled there the ruckman in Clark. So Josh Clark with a poor handball. And it's just those basic skill errors in the middle of the ground there, but Clark was good enough to butter it up over to Nick Burton. Burton out there towards McConaughey, but now it's wrapped up by it's out to Chris York. York on the left foot. He puts it out to the runner Curtis. Curtis quickly with a handball over to Harper. Harper with another handball inside there to Sharp. Sharp has a quick shot at goal and it's hit the post. So Matty Sharp on the end of a quick chain of handballs. He got the behind, but it's quickly brought in by Broadbeach, and they hold the play up there in the back half of the ground now as it comes down towards that of Hancock, and the former Tuggeranong boy takes a great mark.
Yeah, Hancock, half-back line for Broadbeach. Just need to control the tempo here, hit some targets. They've struggled to do that at certain times in this first term. Both sides have. Good work there, kept in by Walton. Should get the free. No, holding the ball. Couldn't quite see there. Must have just dropped it like a hot potato again. Belconnen with a long chain of hands. Cope now looking for options. Just pops it out into the space. Good body work there by Harper. Can't quite find the hand on the football. Good pressure there by Broad. That's holding the ball. You've got to make some sort of effort. Oh, the umpire said it was held to him. Didn't see much of an effort there, Brett, and in my eyes, that was holding the ball.
Yeah, young Sean Wilson, very unlucky. He did all the right things there, and full credit to Geordie Harper. He played it well, so he got away with it, but it's back to the play. It's out to the former uni captain in McConaughey, and it's now play on in the centre wing over to Hancock. He dropped what he should have taken. It gives them an opportunity to go further forward. Here's the run of the Broadbeach Cats as they go further forward, down towards the big hands of Brewer. And he's dropped what he should have taken over the line. As we mentioned, he's a big lump of a lad, 21 years of age, fresh off 5 goals. Belconnen playing a very, very fast tempo game of footy out here today. It's Drew McGrath into the middle of the ground, only as far as Harper. Back to McGrath. He followed up his kick and he's found Curtis unattended there inside the forward 50. Curtis has taken him on. He puts the big shrug on, and Simon Curtis has just missed the goal there. He did all the right things. He put the big palm on and he couldn't finish off his good work. So Simon Curtis proving a real handful as the tall winger out here for the Belconnen Magpies, and it's another quick kick into the Broadbeach Cats, and it goes into that of Nick Ellis. Ellis brings the ball back into the ground there towards Jake Greeley. Greeley dropped what he should have taken, and it's a quick handball over there to Sean Wilson again, who's been involved in the last few passages of play. It's out there towards Adam McConaughey, who takes a strong chest mark in the middle of the ground. He looks to drive the ball down towards the big hands of Brewer. Brewer splits the Belconnen defenders. They went down like a deck of cards. Brewer kept his feet, but full credit to the Belconnen defence. They mopped it up, and there wasn't. They're just lacking that small forward, the Broadbeach Cats, under the feet of Brewer.
Yeah, he definitely hit that pack hard and split them like 10 pins. He's a big boy. Good ruck work there by Jordan. Broadbeach need a score here, but Belconnen's defensive holding quite firm. Good work there by McConaughey, getting in and under, as he always does. Could have been given away a free kick now. Picked up there by the Belconnen defence. Oh, clever play there. Looked to kick the ball, but then bounce. It goes towards Logan. Good work there by Crawford. Won that battle. Could get the free kick. No. Coach's box one on a trip, but the ball has been knocked out of bounds. And he's got a big job there, has Crawford.
Interesting one there, Michael, just to get your thoughts. Loken actually slid into that one, and the umpire actually should have paid the free kick under the new interpretation of the laws. So he was very lucky to get away with that, was Matthew Loken, because Crawford should have got the free kick on that instance. But we get back to the play there. We won't dwell on it too much, and it goes as far as Adam McConaughey. He's been in everything for the Broadbeach Cats, and it's out again to the speedster in Greeley. He's got a nice set of wheels on him. He comes down looking for that of Cal Geary. Of course, we've spoken about him earlier at the top of the program. It's in the hands of Cal Geary, and he's missed what he should have probably scored, and it would have put some nice pressure back on the Magpies out here at round 10 of the North Eastern Football League. Of course, a cross-conference clash, Northern versus Eastern, and it'll be interesting. Of course, all the Eastern guys, Eastern teams have won all the cross-conference matches this year, I believe, Michael.
Yeah, they're doing very well compared to season 2012. They'd like to continue that this afternoon, but Broadbeach have come here with a purpose. They're looking okay the last 10-15 minutes. It was a fast start by Belconnen, but Broadbeach have definitely warmed to the game. They just need to get a bit more reward for their efforts. Good ruck work there by Porter, but it's shark there by Shreve. Picked off there by Bennett. Gets it by hand. Now in the hands of Love in the middle of the ground here. Goes short to Loken, proving all sorts of trouble down there for Crawford. Loken, long kick. It's long, it's strong. Des is down there, but it's, God, nearly had the journey. Just bounced to the right-hand side of the uprights. And a minor score to Belconnen. And they move to 4 goals for 28. 2-goal lead here at Kipax. Broadbeach are 2 goals for 16. They bring it in quickly. Goes out towards the half-forward line. Mark taken there for Broadbeach. They go backwards. Not quite sure what the purpose of that is, but the mark was taken by Ellis. Ellis has enough time. Should spot up his teammate here in Stewart. Oh, puts him under a bit of pressure. Good mark taken there by Stewart. Darren Stewart gets it off by hand. It's an awkward-looking kick, and it's not a good one. Goes out of bounds on the full, looking for the ruckman in Josh Clark, and he won't be too happy with that. As Belconnen now through Lexi Bennett goes to play on. He's called to play on. Gets the handball to Porter. Good work again by hand to Belconnen. Collins now goes into the forward line. And there's another one of the big targets down there for Belconnen. They've got a few of them. And Des now.
Absolutely. He's moved very well inside that forward 50, Des. He's a very mobile centre-half forward. And he's really risen to prominence. Of course, the former Lavington boy. Really starting to find his mark out here. In a very difficult angle here at the nest here at Kipax. Of course, round 10, Belconnen Magpies v Broadbeach in the cross-conference clash as we ride at home with Andrew Dess, and I think he's pushed it to the left-hand post. That he has. So that's another minor score for the Magpies as they skip further ahead on the scoreboard. 4-5-29 to 2-4-16. It's been a very entertaining start here by both sides. Both sides have had their opportunities, of course, Belconnen taking the most of it as we ride the ball home with the Broadbeach Cats. 27-minute mark of the quarter, down to the big mitts of Matthew Porter. Porter with a quick handball across there to, I think it was Hector. Yes, it is Hector down there. Hector tries to butter up what he should have taken, but it's over there towards Big Emery. Emery gets a quick handball out towards that of Jake Greeley. Greeley now gets tackled, and he's buttering up. They're losing their feet, the Broadbeach Cats out here. It's just allowing Belconnen just to stand off them and allow them to make the mistakes as that boy Des again. Des goes inside inboard to Geordie Harper. Geordie Harper takes them on. He has to get a left handball away towards Hector. Of course, the rising star in Damien Hector. Make no mistake about it, the boy from Tarraugan, he kicks the Magpies fifth as they skip further away in this first quarter. They just did that a little bit too easy, Michael. The Magpies there, just not enough pressure there, defensive pressure from the Broadbeach Cats.
Yeah, difference has been decision-making and skills here in the first quarter. Belconnen using the ball really well by hand. They've got some targets up there. We're talking about Loken. He's kicked 16 now this year. Also, you're looking at Des. He's kicked 16 also, but then Chris York's kicked 21. So they've got a lot of goal-scoring power up there in their forward line. If they keep moving the ball through the middle by hand as they are, it makes it so much easier for a forward to read and demand the football, which is what they're doing. And 5 goals in a quarter, you take that any day of the week. 5-5-35, 2-4-16, ball back in the middle, tapped down there by Porter. Picked off there by Bennett. Gets a quick kick to the half-forward line. Marks should have been taken. No, good work there by the Belconnen forwards. They've caused a stoppage, And they'll be pretty happy with that. We are, what are we? We are 28 minutes into this first term. As you said, Brett, very entertaining first term. That last goal, I reckon Broadbeach would have been happy going in a goal and a bit down, but they'd be disappointed that last one.
Absolutely, and speaking to their support staff before the game, they said concentration was obviously one of they've been having some just lapses in quarter times. They've been in winnable positions in both their last starts. Of course, that comes between age and experience, but very impressed with Belconnen's decision-making under pressure as it's out towards Lexi Bennett. He's had a heap of it in this quarter, and it wrong foots Loken, and it allows Crawford to clear it away there, and it goes down towards that of Pantnick. So Ryan Pantnick on directly on the half-back flank. He gets an opportunity to take some tempo off it. No, he doesn't. He goes across goal, running bounce across goal. Now he's got to make sure that he hits the right target out there, and he did the right thing there, and it goes across there to Jake Crawford. Crawford on the left foot, he runs down towards the centre wing, and now they've got an opportunity. It's over towards that of Hancock. Down towards Hancock. He made a contest of it, but it was punched away there by the Belconnen defender in Daniel Jordan. So we'll get a boundary line throw in roughly on the Broadbeach catch forward 50 here at Kippax. So the Magpies with a great start, 8 scoring shots, 8 genuine scoring shots. As you said, you'd take that all day. It's the big fella in Brewer going at it with the other big fella in Porter, and it's down towards that of James Bennett. He's had a heap of the footy in this quarter as well. Just so good by hand is James Bennett, and his awareness around the contest is really, really improved. Those couple of years away, of course, North Adelaide best and fairest last year, and it'll be wonderful to see him back in the representative side this year. And it's over there towards Bunyan, and it's over there towards Matthew Sharp as we hear the tugboat siren for the end of the first quarter. The Magpies 5-5-35 to Broadbeach Cats 2-4-16.
Start nearly of the second quarter here at Kippax. Home side lead 5-5-35 to 2-4-16. Wasn't all one-way traffic, Brett. Broadbeach definitely had some opportunities, but just couldn't quite finish off some of their good work down the ground.
Absolutely, Michael. They had enough of opportunities. They certainly had 6 scoring shots opposed to probably 8 genuine scoring shots for the Magpies, so they had enough of the footy. Let's see how they go running uphill, of course. I believe the scoring is kicking towards Kippax here. That's the town centre of Kippax, not towards the Belconnen way, so it'll be an interesting quarter here as Belconnen, the big ruckman, go at it. It is Porter v. that of Josh Clark. It gets to the hands of Coate. Coate with a quick handball out towards that of Hector. He's been a very, very good player in that first quarter. Was Damien Hector, of course. We spoke about him at the top of the program. And it's over to Hegarty. He was another solid contributor, but that's holding the ball there. Josh Hegarty tried to take on the Broadbeach defender there in Darren Stewart, and he was wrapped up ball and all, and the umpires duly rewarded him. So it's Stewart now who gets an opportunity to push the Broadbeach into attack, and that was a poor kick, but it lands into the arms there of Taylor Haley. That's a mouthful, Taylor Haley. Say that drunk a couple of times and it might come out a little bit different, but only as far as the boundary line throw in. And it's going to be brought back in there, and it's Porter to do battle there with Clark. He was lucky he didn't give a free kick away. Clark was a little shove in the back there, but it's down towards that of Collins. Collins gets the ball down towards the Belconnen forward line in Loken. It's out now towards that of Drew McGrath, of course, the other teammate from Terralgan. So it goes down towards Loken. He should have got a free kick there, but it's the run of Chris York. Yorkie gets the start that Belconnen Magpies wanted. That's his first for the afternoon. So that's a great start, and he's kicking in that rich vein of goal-kicking form, Michael. Chris York, of course, coming off a fresh bag of 10 last week against the Hills Eagles in Sydney. As you mentioned, he had 21. That's now his 22nd.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well down there, and not playing the main role in the forward line today. That's been taken by Matthew Loken in the first term with the 4 goals. But if he can chip in with 3, and he's got his teammate there in Des can chip in with a few as well. Belconnen, as we've discussed in that first term, have a lot of scoring options down there in their forward line. You've also got the ever-dangerous Harper who lurks down there as well. So they've definitely got some goal-scoring power. Obviously, we've mentioned James Bennett, the silky skills of James Bennett. He's another goal-scoring option when he gets down there as Porter gets the tap. Wrapped up there as a Belconnen player. Gets a kick out now. Goes towards the forward line. Loken's down there with a one-on-one. Looking for the tapping the ball to his teammate. Good work there by the Broadbeach defence. Was that in the back? Could be a free kick to Belconnen here for in the back. Unfortunately,
right
Shreve just got under
Harper, right on cue.
Yeah, we mentioned, thank you, Geordie, it made me look like an absolute millionaire there, as Harper. He's kicked 4 so far this season, can go back and slot through Belconnen's 7th goal, and 2 quick. They've started again quickly in this second term, Brett, and that'll be concerning the Broadbeach coaching staff. Harper now, we ride this. It's looking off the line to the left-hand side. Minor score to Jordan Harper, but Belconnen keep the scoreboard ticking over. 6 goals, 6-42. Broadbeach are 2 goals, 4-16. Struggling to get the ball out of their defensive 50. Good mark taken out there on the half-back line from Broadbeach. That player was Hancock. Kicks around the corner. Not quite hitting the targets they need to at the moment to mount any real pressure on the Belconnen defence. Chain of handballs ends up with Coate. Coate now. Short kick to Sharp. Sharp, the switch is on here, and this player's got an absolute acre of space in front of him. That might be Campbell. Campbell goes by hand to Bennett. Bennett, good-looking kick towards Loken. Oh, good work at his feet. Good work also there by Crawford. Loken still got the ball. He's not getting rid of it, though. Umpire had a decision to make. Decided not to make one. And Loken pleading his case. I think both players had a case to answer there. Holding the ball and or holding the man. But what the result is a throw-in. Commentary side here at Kipax. Half-back line for Belconnen. For Broadbeach. Picked off here by Shreve. Shreve goes around the corner. Player went without it. Belconnen, there's a nest there. Player there is Hegarty. Gives it across to Curtis. Curtis, long kick looking towards York. Bounces over his head. Luck's a fortune for McConaughey. McConaughey now paddling air with York. York goes to ground. Got to keep your feet. McConaughey just said boundary line should be his best friend. And it is. And we have a throw-in deep inside the right forward pocket for Belconnen. Scoreboard pocket here, which shows 6-6-42 Belconnen to Broadbeach 2-4-16.
As we get a boundary line throw in now, it's brought down towards that of Dess. He gets it into the arms of Sharp. Sharp only as far as now. It's over towards York. He gets 2 in a minute. So that's another goal to Chris York, the ever reliable goal sneak, of course, starting to come back to full flight after missing a year of football. Of course, went travelling around the world. He's come back a very rejuvenated player as Chris York. That's his 23rd for the season, and that's Belconnen's 2nd for the quarter as they skip further ahead at the 5-minute mark. 7-6-48 to Broadbeach, 2-4-16. Just go back to Broadbeach there. Just their decision-making under pressure. I'll go back to that kick of Benny Hancock. It was just a lazy kick off one step around the corner, which put his team under pressure. So you really need to make the right decisions at that critical half-back post to really mount a scoring opportunity. Instead, it's cost them 2 goals. So, just those little decisions that can really, really hurt your team. As we bring the ball back to the middle of the ground, as the umpire puts it up, it's Porter v Clark there, decisively won out there by Porter, but it's only as far as that as Luke Shreve. Shreve over there towards that of Ryan Pantic, who was in the middle of the ground there, and it's out towards that of Rory Walton, of course, the former Claremont player. It gets put forward there, and it's in Cody's gang tackle there, and it's over towards Kieran Emery. Emery gets it in towards that, and that's a strong mark there taken by Cal Geary. We spoke about him, the former Bendigo pioneer under 18, a standout at the draft camp, and of course his brother Jaron, who plays for the St Kilda Saints in the AFL. He shows a nice lot of poise as a footballer out there, Michael. I wouldn't mind getting him down here in one of the clubs here in the ACT. I'm sure they'd love to have him, but he gets Broadbeach's 3rd, so that was a strong mark there to Cal Geary.
Much needed goal to Broadbeach. Steadied the ship somewhat. Still got a bit work to do. It's 7 goals, 6-48. Broadbeach are 3 goals, 4-22. The difference so far, just they really have to work hard for their goals, Brett, where Belconnen their last 2 goals have been a little bit too easy for mine. They don't seem to have to work as hard for their goals, but Broadbeach just need to get 2 in a row, get some confidence back, and just start hitting some targets. You mentioned Hancock. They just don't seem to be kicking to their teammates with any purpose. Sort of a hit and hope, really. And against a class act of Belconnen, you're going to get punished every time. They have so far. But they're hanging tough. The Cats, they just need to bang a few goals in succession. They're ruck going to go at it again it's Clark in the middle against Porter, who's probably dominated that ruck duel so far. They win this one through Clark. Around the corner, goes to the half-forward line. This is where they need to have some crummers at the feet of the pack. They don't. Belconnen have been really good at this so far in the first quarter and a bit. Just seem to have the numbers at ground level. Picked off here by Love. Gets it by hand to Bennett. Bennett, the kick's going to go over Loken's head. Is it? Yes, it does. Good work there by Broadbeach. Just can't find the handle. This is where you need to have your teammates with you and talking to you. Picked off there by Scott. Scott went short, and the mark's been taken deep in the pocket. He's going to switch it over now, looking towards Shreve. Will it have the carry? No, it doesn't. Lexi Bennett takes the mark. And there's that skill error again, Brett. Looking for his teammate. Picked off by the Belconnen player. Good work here by Walton, former Claremont boy. But again, mistakes been made. Picked off here, Geordie Harper to Turnbull, just on the 50. Long flying shot at goal. How's it going to go? Just misses to the left. But again, error-riddled passage of play here by Broadbeach. And they're just gifting Belconnen the football and making the scoring shots just mount here at Kippax, Brett. They just need to hold the football and hit their targets a bit more.
Absolutely too much uncontested football from the Broadbeach Cats. It's just allowing Belconnen easy shots at goal, but it's Bennett who made the intercept there, and the umpires called him for holding the ball as he got the handball away to his brother in Lexi. But that was a good tackle there taken by that man, Taylor Haley. So it's not Taylor Haley, it's Quick, I think it is. It's Nathan Quick down there. Quick brings the ball commentary side right in front of the commentary box here as it's taken there by Benny Hancock, the former Tuggeranong player. Of course, his former coach out here to watch one of his former charges going at it. Glenn Gorman was in the huddle down towards the big man there in Brewer, but it's taken there by the Belconnen defender as it's over there towards that of Sharp. Sharp was put under pressure there, and it's well taken there by Walton, but it's going to be a free kick out there to Luke Shreve. Shreve with an opportunity to put Broadbeach into attack. He goes deep inside the forward 50, but the Belconnen defenders, they've been good at that, just being able to pick off their players. Cam Campbell in towards that of Calgary, and it's rushed through for a quick behind. That's the Broadbeach's first behind for the quarter, and they inch closer on the scoreboard, but they've got to get a couple of majors. As you said, they've got to go back-to-back in a hurry. Cam Campbell's done an outstanding job in the back half of the Magpies. He's probably one of the most improved players in the competition, is Cam Campbell. It's into the big arms of Curtis, the number 8 for Belconnen. He brings it down towards the centre wing, down towards that of it's Jai Bomb, and it brought to the ground into York. York with a quick handball out there towards Hegarty. Hegarty with a good handball over there towards the run there of Sharp. Sharp tries to break it over, and he does. He was successful in getting it across to Bomb. Over to Sharp, down to Loken. Loken outside the forward 50. It's going down there towards the run there of Dominic Bunyan. I think it's going to beat them all for a rush behind, so a big kick there from Matthew Loken. And that's Belconnen's third behind. Just need to settle it down a little bit and see if they can put some goal pressure on the Broadbeach Cats. They've had enough of it anyway. But a highly entertaining clash out here at Kippax, round 10, North Eastern Football League cross-conference match between the Broadbeach Cats and the Belconnen Magpies.
Ball goes over the boundary line, half-forward line for Belconnen. Good work there by Shreve. I've liked him so far. They've got a few good players out here to Broadbeach. I think Shreve's been pretty good. Hancock, McConaughey's been everything, and Pantic also has had a fair dink and crack so far, but they just are leaving a little bit too much to too few here, Broadbeach, and the game could get away from them quickly here if they don't start to put some scoreboard pressure on. Belconnen just look like they're running on top of the ground a little bit nicer than their opponents. Bohm against Brewer. Brewer gets a big hit. He's just too big, too strong in those situations. Good work there. Two Broadbeach players clash. One's McConaughey. He is in and under everything at the moment. They try and work it out by hand. Picked off here by Shreve. Gets the handball. Puts his teammate under pressure. They've worked it out quite nicely. Again under pressure is Wilson. Bumped off the ball is Wells. Belconnen. Weight of numbers favour them. Love just needs to kick the ball. He can't. Again, the pressure's on. The heat's gone up a bit, and that's a high tackle. Good work there by Broadbeach, and Pantic gets the ball. He's going to go backwards just to buy his team a bit more time. Picked off here by Quick. Quick goes to the outer side, has a loose player there, and that player can run. The player might have been Haley. Haley goes short. Still in their defensive zone here, Broadbeach. Now they kick it over into attack. Goes towards the half-forward line. Mark not taken by Hancock. Ball comes to ground. Picked off here by Geary. Geary around the corner. Who's there for Broadbeach? It's all Belconnen. Turnbull. He kicks it back. Tries to find some space to his teammate in Bennett. Goes by hand to Curtis. Curtis has the bounce. Sees a loose player across the wing there. Might be Bennett there. Lexi Bennett it is. Pleading for his teammate to come at him. He does so now. The kick's not a good one. Ball should be picked off here by Burton. Tries to find the hand. Again, a high tackle. And Porter, the big fella, tackling's not one of his fortes. And the ball is in the hands of McConaughey. Probably the best player for Broadbeach, McConaughey. This is where they're breaking down, Brett, across half forward. They don't seem to have the target, and a good mark taken there by Nick Collins.
In front of the former Tuggeranong player in Hancock, but it goes across there towards Ryan Rabs Turnbull. Turnbull brings the ball across to the there of Bohm. He's been quite good too as the relief ruckman for the Magpies as they continue to stream down the centre wing, and it's down there towards Loken. Dropped what he should have taken into the arms of James Bennett. Back over to Loken. He tries to take on the defender, and was a good tackle there from Taylor Haley, but it's out towards Bohm. Bohm was slung to the ground as he tackled the footy. You need to keep your feet in that situation. It's over to Calgary. I've liked the look of him. He looks very good on his feet, but that's a quick handball away, and he follows it up with a good run. It's Geary outside 50. He gets set sail for home. I think that's going to roll through. Cal Geary, it was touched on the line there. I think the Belconnen defender, Daniel Jordan, just got his hands to it, so they get another behind, but I've really liked the look of Cal Geary. He knows his way around the footy field. Of course, we spoke about his pedigree at the top of the program. It's out to Josh Hegarty, who's going to bring the ball in for the Belconnen Magpies. It's the Magpies, 7-8-50, 3-6-24 to the Broadbeach Cats. And it's a very fast-flowing, entertaining game here at Kipax. Of course, the ground looking magnificent. They've done a great job out here, Michael, the Belconnen people, in getting this ground up and running for season 2013.
Yeah, they certainly have. They seem to have all their ducks in a row out here at the moment, do Belconnen. They're doing well off the field and on the field, as we said. They're sitting in second position, and I reckon they would have taken that any day of the week come the start of the year. As the big fella from Broadbeach gets wrapped up, and that might have been Clark. Ball goes out of bounds just on the 50-metre line, right forward pocket for the Magpies. Actually, I'll tell a lie, it's for Broadbeach. And Broadbeach need to get an opportunity here to score a goal. They've kicked 3 for the afternoon. Unfortunately, their opposition kicked 7. It's 7-8-50 to Broadbeach 3 goals 6. Clark wins the tap, but again, Belconnen just seem to have the numbers at ground level. Love. Took too long with the football, picked off there by Walton around the corner. But again, better positioning by the Belconnen defence. They work it out through a chain of handballs, ends up with Turnbull. Turnbull got it from Harper. Turnbull goes out towards Des. The opponent there falls over in Stewart, allows Des a bit of time. Goes long and a good pass and lead. And the mark taken there by the player in York. York kicked 2 goals this term. Just on the half-forward line, looks towards, well, not really sure what he's looking for because there was no Belconnen player really there. And the ball has gone out of bounds in front of the scoreboard, which reads 7 goals 8-50 to Broadbeach 3 goals 6-24 with 15 and a half minutes gone in this second term. Belconnen just need... Belconnen kick a goal here, Brett. You just wonder what they're going to do to the Broadbeach confidence. They've tried really hard without making much of an impact. And you just wonder how long they can keep this effort going for no reward.
Absolutely. You can see the floodgates starting to open if Belconnen get the next goal, but the Broadbeach Cats not flying the flag yet, so they just need to make a couple of positional changes. I'd like to see Brewer a bit more involved in the footy. Maybe he doesn't have the stamina yet. He hasn't got that engine. He needs to do those couple of pre-seasons which really get legs... miles into your legs. It's so important, and certainly having spoken to a couple of the up-and-coming representative players, that's what they spoke about, was getting those 2 or 3 pre-seasons under your belt where you get those real strong miles in your legs. So of course we mentioned he's only 21, is big Mitch Brewer, fresh off a 5-goal haul, but he certainly could do with some miles in his legs. It's Porter to do battle with Brewer out there. James Bennett, another player who's just taken his game to a whole new level. He's certainly a different player when he left. Of course, it's just beaten there the former North Adelaide best and fairest from 2012, back at Belconnen this year. He's been a fantastic acquisition for Belconnen, and he's certainly leading their charge up the ladder in 2013. So they're right on cue is James Bennett. He drives the ball forward into the goal square for that, and I think it's quick out there for the Broadbeach Cats. He was tackled when not in possession, yep, and it's a free kick out there now. I think it is Quick out there, or was it Nick Scott? I think it's Nick Scott. It's very obscured. No, it was Quick. I got it right the first time out to Pantic. He's had plenty of the footy for Broadbeach. Needs to lift his eyes a little bit and go over to the next line. It's out towards Quick. Quick over there towards Darren Stewart, who went at it one-handed, and it's just beaten him over the boundary line. Too many basic errors for the Broadbeach Cats. Need to eradicate that out of their game, Michael, if they're going to challenge. Certainly in their own conference, but when they travel, they need to eradicate that, because Belconnen just sweating on their mistakes at the moment and making them pay on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're very good with the transition play, Belconnen. Picked off here by Clark. They just need to get some clean possession. They can't do anything clean at the moment. Belconnen just seem to have all the numbers at the contest. Couldn't quite find their handle there. Good pick up there by Pantic. Gets it out wide. Just need to find some targets. That might be Mackenzie, the 50-game player. Good tackle there, and the ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be a boundary throw-in out of side here at a sun-drenched Kipax Ale with beautiful conditions for football. Not much of a breeze to be spoken about. No clouds in the sky. Great day here in Canberra. Good work there by the ruckman there in Porter. Ball comes down. Good mark taken there. Strong hands by Bunyan. Bunyan, half-forward line for the Belconnen Magpies. Love's just drifting into the forward 50, unopposed at the moment. The kick's not a good one, though. Broadbeach have all the players. Good work there by Burton. This is where they have trouble. They really are struggling to get the ball out of the defensive zone for Broadbeach. And Belconnen just seem to have numbers every time there's a contest, and they just keep getting the ball back into their forward line. They've got the targets down there in Loken, York and Des, and so far it's working quite well for them, Brett.
Absolutely. Another round 10 clashes today. Of course, this is the early game kicking off at 11:45. We've got the Swans taking on Ainsley at Ainsley Oval, so that's a big challenge for the tricolours out there at Ainsley. We've got Eastlake challenging Uni, the much improved Uni at Monica or Star Trek Oval, and we've got Tuggeranong taking on the Eagles at Greenway. So a couple of interesting clashes out there today, but the ball is in the arms of Darren Stewart now, who gets an opportunity to register the Broadbeach's second goal for the term, and it just level pegs them back. If they can bring this, it brings the margin back to 20 points. They've had enough of the footy, just as you said. They're breaking down across half forward, really need that mobile target like Des and Loken. And this is Darren Stewart as we ride it home for him. He brings the ball, he doesn't like it off the boot, and you can tell by the reaction on his face. I think it was just a minor score, so that's their third minor score for the quarter. Needed to really make an opportunity of that one at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter, as the Magpies bring it back in through Curtis in what is a 65-metre kick. That went to the centre square, Michael. Here you go. He's cleared the back of the pack. Transition, untouched footy out towards that of Des. Des gets it to the run there of, I think it is down there, it is Dominic Bunyan. So the value of a 65-metre kick from Simon Curtis at fullback caught all the Broadbeach players unaware. Untouched, down to Des. Des handball over to Bunyan. There you go. So that's the Magpies' third for the quarter. That was a fantastic kick from Simon Curtis.
Not quite sure what the free kick was for, but Belconnen were quick to pounce, and the advantage rule was paid. And they had 4 or 5 people they could have chosen from to kick the ball in their forward 50. Des was clear, unselfishly went across to Bunyan, who kicked his first of the afternoon, and Belconnen just marched further in front. It's a 31-point margin here at Kipax. 21 minutes gone in this second term. They just need to hold firm to the Broadbeach side.
He's really improved his work rate, Andrew Des. He's a fantastic figure inside that forward 50. He works very, very hard, and his repeat efforts inside forward 50 haven't gone unnoticed. So he's a much improved player in this Belconnen side, but there's a whistle out there in the middle of the ground, and the umpire's going to pick out a free kick there to Orion Pantic. He's probably been Broadbeach's best. He's had plenty of the footy. He's just a short kick across there to his teammate further afield, and they get it further inside the forward 50 there, looking towards that there of, is it the big fella in Kieran Emery. Emery was unable to take it out towards Hancock. Emery gets a quick handball over there towards McConaughey, but it's cleared away by the Belconnen defence in through Harper. Harper comes down through the middle of the ground towards Johnny Love. Johnny Love right on the centre square. He brings it down towards Loken. He got a push in the back, and that's the way the umpire is going to see it, and that'll be 50 metres. As he didn't play the first whistle, it'll be interesting to see what the umpire does here. That should be 50 metres.
100%, should have been.
Absolutely, but it's Loken lining up for what could be his 4th, 5th. So he's kicked 4 goals, 1 as Matthew Loken. It's a fair effort in half a game of football. 22-minute mark. It's Belconnen 8-8-56, 3-7-25 to the Broadbeach Cats. Loken takes a fair time run up directly in front. It's right at home with Matthew Loken, of course, the former Collingwood and Port Adelaide Magpie. He makes no mistake. He's got an affiliation with the Magpies, doesn't he, Michael? Magpie, Magpie, Magpie.
Yes, if you're not a Magpie, you've got no chance of getting Matthew Loken, that's for sure. That's his 5th and 17th goal of the season. Belconnen move further in front here at Kippax. 9 goals, 8-62. Broadbeach, a 3 goals, 7-25. And the one thing I've written down here, Brett, is that Belconnen just look a little bit more polished. That's been the big difference between the two sides. They really use the ball well. They spread the workload pretty evenly. You mentioned guys like Shreve, McConaughey and Pantic. They're really carrying a lot of the workload for Broadbeach. Whereas look at Belconnen, they've had a plethora of players who have put their hand up to be amongst this first half of football. And I think Broadbeach just need a few more working bees out there to assist them to get back into this game.
Absolutely. As the ball's brought through the middle of the ground, it was Big Brewer in the middle of the ground going to do battle with Porter, but as we spoke about, and it's brought across there by it's into the hands of Quick. Quick gets it across there towards that of the hard-working Luke Shreve. Shreve at the back flank now brings it down towards boundary side into the hands of Pantic, right on cue. It's the same players again, but there's a handball over towards the 50 gamer in Mackenzie, out towards Hancock. He was crunched by the 3 Belconnen defenders and they just mop it up through Coat over towards Bennett, out towards Hegarty. He takes them on with contempt. It's out towards the hands of Drew McGrath with down towards the lurking Curtis, who's gone forward now. Curtis puts it down towards there of York, and York was actually jive bomb down there, so it was a poor decision there from Simon Curtis. He probably could have done a little bit better with that, but it's into the hands of Ryan Pantic. Pantic, deep back pocket here for the Broadbeach Cats. It's over towards Shreve. It's the Pantic and Shreve show for the Broadbeach Cats. I'd like to have a look at their champion data stats at the end of the game, but it's Luke Shreve with the ball in hand. Decision to make. He's a very indecisive as Deese comes at him and meets him, and it goes across ground only as far as Quick. Quick in front of Loken. Quick gets a nice kick. He's looked all right. He looked quite composed down there. He's a nice size, young Quick. So they've obviously made the change with Quick onto Crawford, and it's bringing dividends down there. It's down towards Geary, and it beats him over the line. And Luke Donahue doing the job on Cal Geary. Right here, centre wing, Belconnen 9-8-62. Broadbeach Cats trailing 3-7-25.
25 minutes gone in this second term. It's been all Belconnen in the first half. We've seen patches and glimpses of Broadbeach, just not enough. Pack forms, Bennett gets the tap out, looking for Love. Love now on the right boot. Goes long and strong, but not handsome. And the ball goes out of bounds. Half-back line for Broadbeach. Need to mount a challenge here with this one. Ball should be in the hands of Nick Burton, I think, should be the recipient. As the umpires confer, not quite sure what they're talking about. Wondering whether it might have been touched off the boot, or are they going to give the free kick? No, it's going to be a boundary throw-in, so the umpires confirmed. One said it was out in the full. The field umpire said it was touched, and he will override the boundary umpire 9 times out of 10. Good work there by Brewer through the legs of Bennett. Picked off here by Porter. The big fella working well on the ground. Is he getting it out, though? That's the key. There's a fist being pumped there. The umpire said he haven't made much of an effort there at all. And the free kick will go to McConaughey.
He's been good, McConaughey, of course, the former Sydney Uni captain. He gets it down towards that of... I can't quite pick up the player, but he follows up his good work, McConaughey. He gets a quick handball over there towards Rory Walton. McConaughey gets a quick kick only as far as that of Jordan. Jordan gets it in front of Turnbull, but it's picked off there by Cal Geary. Geary gets it down towards Emery, and that's a strong mark there by Kieran Emery. Take it as you will. He got a free kick or a mark because he was pulled down in the marking contest. We'll ride this home with Kieran Emery, the number 13. He's doing a fair bit of work. He's presenting up there, and his teammates haven't really helped him out, so he's certainly making a contest of it. He can bridge the gap here and make it a 31-point contest. It's Kieran Emery, of course, the number 13 for the Broadbeach Cats. He gets an opportunity to put their 4th on the board as he brings it in. Kieran Emery, does he like this one? No, he doesn't. You can tell by the facial reaction out there, so he pushes it wide. And the ball's going to be brought in by, I think it's Hegarty out there, is it? It's going to bring the ball in. Yes, it is. It's Josh Hegarty in towards that of Bennett. Bennett plays on with a quick handball over the top there towards Jordan. Jordan brings it down towards that of Dess. And of course, Belconnen missing their Mulrooney medalist and goal sneaking Shane Harris. I believe he's a week away, but that's a great grab there by Dominic Bunyan. Bunyan gets the ball further afield now towards that of Bomb. Is it? No, it's Big Porter down there, and he brings it back in towards Bunyan. So he's changed boots, Dominic Bunyan. He steps around the big fella in Turner, but he was dispossessed. It's over towards Jai Bomb, out towards Curtis. He should let loose with a big one, yet he does. Puts it down into the square towards York. Wasn't good enough on that occasion. There was surrounded by the Broadbeach defenders, and it comes into the hands of Shreve. And gets them out of trouble again, does Luke Shreve. Ever presenting is Luke Shreve. Shreve elects to go further across. He switches player right on the scoreboard side there, only as far as Hancock. Hancock with a kick off one step there towards Cal Emery. Emery gets it down further afield, and it's punched away there by Turnbull. So that was good defensive work by the Belconnen players. They just sweat on the Broadbeach players in making those mistakes, don't they, Michael? Hence, that's why they're ahead on the scoreboard. They haven't really done anything flashy, nothing outstanding. They just work, and like you said, they're just a little bit more polished at this point in time, aren't they? Yeah,
they certainly are. They're well on top across the half-back line. They've got numbers at the contest. We've mentioned a lot of these players from Broadbeach, the likes of Shreve and McConaughey. They're getting a lot of possessions, but they're getting them across the half-back line. And so they're not really making too many inroads or being very damaging with their disposal. Obviously, the better players in the side, but I don't think Belconnen will mind those two racking up possessions across the half-back line as they try and get the ball again. As the siren goes to end the first half, pretty much dominated by the home side. They're 9 goals, 8, 62.
Welcome back here to the third quarter. Belconnen v Broadbeach Cats in this cross-conference game. It's Belconnen 9-8, 62, 3-8, 26. Of course, joining me in the commentary this afternoon is Michael Neeson. Michael, the first half there, Belconnen were fantastic, and Broadbeach with all the work to do in this third quarter.
Yeah, they shared the workload pretty well, did Belconnen. Broadbeach were good in patches, but just didn't have enough contributors to their football. We'll go through the goal scorers in the game so far. Loken has 5, York has 2, Hector has the single. And for Broadbeach, not too many to worry the scorers. Geary has 1, Greeley has 1, and Searle, the 50 gamer, he also has 1 as the ball is deep inside the Belconnen 50. Broadbeach try and work it out. Is that out of bounds on the full before Shreve took it? No, it didn't. He was very good in the first half, but we commented that most of his disposals across the half-back line. I'm sure that the coaching staff would like to see him be a bit more damaging with the football in more attacking areas. Most of the times he's just trying to kick the ball out of the zone to try and relieve his defence. There's the big ruckman there in Brewer. Needs to put a bit more impact on the game. Porter's done very well in the ruck contest so far. He's been pretty good around the ground too, has Porter. One of the form ruckmen in the competition. And Brewer and Porter will go at it again. Grandstand wing here at Kipax. Belconnen have had the fast start in the opening 2 quarters. Let's see how Broadbeach can stem the flow here. They need the first goal. They move it by hand. Just looking for a handball. Need to be a bit more decisive. The ball comes out to Pantic, one of the better players. Gets it across to Burton. They muck around with it here, do Broadbeach. Good work there by Bennett. But they've still got control of the football. Comes out towards Mackenzie. Mackenzie goes out towards Pantic. Good diving mark by Pantic. Kicks it up to his teammate. Mark's been taken. Half forward line for Broadbeach, but the kicks drop there on the chest for Broadbeach. Kick into the forward line, but it goes too wide, and it is out of bounds on the full. And just their entries into their forward line, just not decisive enough, Brett.
Absolutely, Michael. And sometimes I just think teams need to adjust the style they play with the playing squad they have. And, you can't always play to the style or because your list dictates the style you can play. And I think Broadbeach are in that situation, but as we get back to it, it's back to Rory Walton, of course, the former Claremont player, and that's in the back there. Take it as you will. Unlucky not to get a free kick was Nick Burton, and I think the umpire has paid a free kick. No, he hasn't. The umpire's called it in there, so Ryan Turnbull was very lucky as Big Brewer goes at it with Porter. He takes the ball out of the ruck, and he's been pinged accordingly. It's out towards Haggerty. Haggerty has got a decision to make. A vastly improved player. He's been very good across the half-back there, of course, from your old club there in Adelaide, Port Adelaide there. He has certainly come on in leaps and bounds. Just talking to a couple of the Belconnen staffers, he's come off an ankle reconstruction last year and reaping the benefits is Haggerty, making the ACT representative squad for season 2013, but it's into there of Drew McGrath, the boy from Terralgan, out towards James Bennett, another one of their stars in James Bennett, out there towards that of Dominic Bunyan. He's got a nice set of wheels on him, Dominic Bunyan. He showed a few flashes of brilliance out there, Michael, and has a couple of nice things he did inside the forward 50. The umpire not really knowing what to do here. He's just thrown the ball up. He hasn't indicated that he was going to do that, unless we missed something. It's down towards there of the number 3 for the Cats in Cal Geary. Geary over towards the former Tuggeranong player in Hancock, of course, coming back to Canberra. He would be unaccustomed to that the weather we're experiencing at the moment. It's in the hands of Matt Fyfe. Of course, Matt Fyfe, the former Wagga Tiger, played in this competition previously when the Wagga Tigers were in the competition, and it's been pushed out of bounds out there by the player in Nick Burton, and the umpire has adjudicated that he's rushed it out of bounds deliberately, and it's in the hands of that man Haggerty again. He's racking up getting possessions. So Josh Haggerty, he brings the ball inboard across there towards Cam Campbell. Cam Campbell brings it in further afield to Lexi Bennett. He gets an opportunity to run inside the back 50. Bennett brings the ball up through the centre of the ground here towards the run there of Daniel Jordan. Jordan, it was beaten there by Cal Emery in a foot race, so it's taken away inside the forward 50, right in front of the commentary box here. It's picked up on the bend there by Nick Ellis. Ellis gets it over to the Adam McConaughey, the former Sydney Uni player. It's down there towards Emery, in towards Pantic, but Haggerty was very good, and he's given away a free kick. I thought the player for the Broadbeach Cats went down there. He didn't really get a hand on him, Haggerty, but he was the recipient of the free kick there, is in Burton. Nick Burton, 25 metres out, gets an opportunity to put Broadbeach's first for the second half and the first for the third quarter. Let's see how he goes with this, Michael.
Yeah, the former Suns Academy boy lining up from about 20 metres out directly in front. Should have no problems with this. And this will be a good start to Broadbeach. Kicks on its way straight out of the umpire's hat. He likes it. Already marked it down before he kicked it, actually. Was never going to miss that one. And Broadbeach get the opening goal of the second half. They move to 4 goals, 8-32. 5 goals in arrears, Belconnen 9-8-6-2. That's definitely the start they wanted, but they need to get back-to-back goals, Brett, just to give themselves a little bit of a confidence and just to get the momentum back, because right now Belconnen just seem to have all the answers. Broadbeach, I don't think they've been able to kick 2 in a row so far today. They definitely need to do that right now to get back into this football match, but that's what the coaching staff would have wanted. They would have wanted the first goal of the second half. So they're up and about early. Belconnen, as we said, they've had the fast start in the opening 2 terms. They've kicked the first 2 goals of the first and second quarters. But Broadbeach get the first goal of the third. 6.5 minutes gone in the third term, so they've fought pretty well so far. Ball comes out towards Greeley, couldn't get the handball. They're working hard in the clinches here at Broadbeach. So are Belconnen too. And the umpire says, give it to me. We'll have another ball up pretty much directly in the centre square here at Kipax. Porter and Brewer. Brewer gets the tap. Who's going to get the ball out of the middle? Good work here by Shreve in and under. He's working really hard. Was that legging? No, it wasn't. He's working very hard, is Shreve. We've been impressed with his game. Quick kick out of the pack. Goes towards the half-forward line. Good pick up there by Burton. Who's there for Broadbeach? They've got numbers there, but so do Belconnen. Been really good across the half-back line, has Belconnen. Handball from Pocock. Hancock could say, in front where all good forward should be is Crawford, I think. And he's gone down away from Loken. And Crawford
took what was a very good diving mark below his knees. As you said, all good forwards should be in front, but that was their first takeaway from the centre clearance, Michael. So that was a good start there from Broadbeach. Obviously, we can hear him next door in the coach's box, quite animated. Let's see if he can get one back. That's a great back-to-back goal for the Broadbeach Cats. That's their 5th, and they make a game of it here at Kipax. It's Broadbeach now, 5-8-38, trailing Belconnen 9-8-62.
Well, the game needed Broadbeach to come out and kick a couple of quick goals, just to warm everybody up in this commentary box. It's freezing in here. Hope you're nice and warm at home. But we have a game on here now. It's 4 goals to difference. Broadbeach with the first 2 of the third term, 9-8-62. Broadbeach are 5'8", and their tails must be up now. Gee, if they can get the next goal, Brett, anything can happen in this game so far. Long way to go. It's a 24-point margin. Ball back in the middle.
It's all down to the centre square clearance. It's to see if Big Brewer can get his hands on it first. They've got some couple of nice little players in there. We spoke about Geary, Shreve, Greeley. So he gets his hands to it first, but it's that man in Love. Love who takes the ball away for the Magpies as far as Curtis. He gets goal side of his opponent. He drives it long into that towards Loken. Loken dropped what he should have taken. So he was unlucky there. Of course, Taylor Haley now on to Matthew Loken as they get it away and they rush it through for a quick behind. Or is it out of bounds down there? I think it is out of bounds, so they get an opportunity to set up at the stoppage here, Belconnen. They've been quite good at the stoppage play this out here at Kipax today. Of course, the early game. We always get the early games when the travelling side from the Northern Conference comes down. 11:45 start. It's starting to dry out underfoot as there's a lot of footy going on around us in the outside grounds, as you can see in the background there. Of course, brought to you through neafl.com.au. Streamed live into your lounge rooms out towards Love. Love gets a quick handball away there towards that of Des, I think it was, who was the quick kick away. Was it Des? I'm not quite sure, but anyway, it's a minor score, so that's Belconnen's first score of the quarter as they get to quickly go transition football. It's out in the hands of Darren Stewart. Stewart needs to get a hurry on there, and he gets it out towards the run there of Burton, who's come alive in this third quarter. Burton over toward the former Tuggeranong product in Hancock. Hancock only gets it as far as the Belconnen defender in Love. Love out towards Harper. Harper takes on over to Nick Collins. Back inside there to Ryan Turnbull. Turnbull over there towards that of Damien Hector. Hector gets it into the hands of Loken. Guess who?
He's been the difference so far.
Here we go. Matthew Loken lining up for what could be number 6.
Tough kick.
What has he got to do in this situation here? One full forward to another.
Well, is he a lefty? Is he a right legger, is he, or is he a lefty?
Lefty.
He's a lefty, so just got to pop it out to the left-hand goalpost and have the natural swing. Kicks on its way. It looks very straight and very good. Jesus, a good kick of a football is Matthew Loken. That's his 6th. And we're only 10 minutes into this third term. So I can tell you what, in his own mind, he'd be thinking 10, no doubt about it. Full forwards don't mind
the bags.
Well, they don't mind the bags. They don't mind giving themselves targets either. They're very good at going, well, I'm on 6 now. I'd like to get 10 here. I reckon he'd have that well and truly in his mind. But right now, I guess for Belconnen, that's a much-needed goal. Just get the steadier. First one for them in the second half. It's 10-9, 69. Open up that 5-goal gap again. 5 goals, 8-38 to Broadbeach. Now they're the team that need to respond. They can get another goal here just to keep themselves within the game. Brewer working hard in the middle against Porter. Brewer gets the tap. They can't shark it. Love's there for Belconnen. They just seem to break tackles a little bit too easy to do Belconnen at times. Some of their bigger-bodied players. Trying to find the handle here for Belconnen. He's ducked into that umpire. You've been fooled there. You've been falling for the 3-card trick there. You put your head down. That's your own fault if you get hit. Picked off there by Hegarty. Hegarty goes to the half-forward line. He's got a couple of Belconnen players to choose from. One of them was Bennett. Gets over to his teammate in Hector. Goes long. Again, he's just too strong, is Loken. Could have dissed off the handball, but he's definitely got 10 in his mind. He might even have a dozen. He's got 7 now. And here's the difference between the two sides at the moment. Nobody seems to be strong enough to handle him. But mind you, Brett, the ball is coming in quickly and precisely. He did pretty well there with his body. But 7 goals in the first, hour and 10 minutes. That's a pretty good afternoon to boot.
Absolutely. Couldn't be a truer word spoken. As you do when you're a full forward, you do tend to mark those milestones off in your mind. It's always good for your confidence, but by geez, if you miss a couple of early ones, that little man comes out, doesn't he, Michael?
I think it's good for a full forward to do that, though. You start giving yourself targets and you get dirty on yourself when you don't reach them. So you set some pretty high standards. If you don't reach them, other players might be pretty satisfied with that. But I reckon as a full forward, I can tell you back in my day, I definitely put the targets, a stretch target out there, and you weren't happy if you didn't achieve it. So the ball's back in the middle, but I reckon he's got 10 minimum in his mind now. I mean, York kicked 10 last week. He's on the track to kick 10 this week. They've got some options down there to Belconnen. They look very, very dangerous in season 2013.
Absolutely, it's their smalls that are causing all the damage. I've really liked the work of Hegarty. I've also Hector. Bunyan's been good in there for them. Also, McGrath. They've all chimed in. They all know their role, and they're a fantastic side. He gets another opportunity. Loken, he swings around on the left boot. Is it going to beat everyone? You betcha. He is on fire. That's 8. That's 3 for the first 13 minutes of this third quarter. Belconnen skip away 12-9-81 to Broadbeach 5-8-38. Matthew Loken 8 goals. And he brings himself off the ground.
He's sprinting off.
He's out of the club.
What sort of full forward sprints off after kicking 8 goals?
We might have to sack him out of the club. Matthew Loken.
I've never seen him run so fast to the interchange bench. I thought he was giving everyone a high five for a moment there, but no, he's come straight off to the interchange bench after kicking 8 goals in the opening, 75 minutes of football. Tell you what, if I was kicking 8 goals, I would not be one to come off at all, because I don't know about you, Brett. You kick a goal, you've got the adrenaline pumping, you want the ball to come back to you again so quickly, and even at AFL level, it just baffles me that they keep taking players off that kick goal, because right then and there, they are 10 foot tall after kicking a goal.
I couldn't agree more. It's one of those great baffling mysteries. The AFL's a little bit different because there is a time delay for the TV cameras and so forth. They have to bring it back to the ground and they get an opportunity to make a rotation because it's played at breakneck speed. But I just don't understand the philosophy of taking a bloke who's just on a natural adrenaline high after you've just kicked a goal. It's beyond me. But anyway, back to the footy. It's Sean Wilson, the number 33 for the Cats. He gets it down towards that of...
It's a half back line for Broadbeach. As Brett under a bit of pressure here in the commentary box. Ball goes to the wing. Out of side. Porter's there. Takes the mark, does the big fella. And he just will go back. We'll probably try and feed off to someone short or go straight down the line. He goes with the ladder. Straight down the line. It's an ugly looking kick. There was Bennett. Couldn't take the mark, but he's the first to recover. They just look so much cleaner to Belconnen. Out towards Love. Love gets it by hand to Curtis, to Bennett. Just playing with the opposition at the moment. They're sharing the workload really, really well. Even though the big fella's kicked 8, you can put a blanket over half a dozen players who have contributed, that's for sure. Kick's not a good one, and the mark has been taken in defence. That might well be, I think it might have been Crawford, I think.
Broadbeach. It's over to Geary. Geary brings it down after the flies got out of the mouth towards the former Tuggeranong product in Hancock. Of course, his first season with the Broadbeach Cats. He's enjoying it up there over towards the former Suns player in Burton. He was on the Suns Academy list, but he only gets it as far as Geordie Harper, fresh off the under-22s game. He puts it over the head of Des, but here's that man Bunyan with a lot of leg speed. He's looked lively inside the forward 50. He kicks his second. He kicks Belconnen's 13th. As they skip further away here at Kippax Oval, it's Belconnen 13-9-87, Broadbeach 5-8-38, 15-minute mark of the third quarter. All the work in front of them now, Broadbeach, after a promising start this third quarter, Michael.
Yeah, you fear the floodgates might open here at Kippax Oval. It's 13-9, as you said, 87, 5-8-38. They did get the margin back within 24, but since then, Belconnen have just kicked 4 straight goals. They just seem to have all the answers to the home side. Broadbeach just really lack, I guess, a key target in their forward line. Mind you, they haven't got the ball in there too often. I'd like to see the stats on the inside 50s be well in favour of Belconnen. And when you've got targets down there like Loken, Des, York, Bunyan, a lot of goal-scoring power, plus the class of some of their on-ballers. Bennett goes to ground. Picked off now here by Broadbeach. They can mount an attack here through their ruckman in Clark. Again, he just can't find the handle. Belconnen finally get the numbers there. Going to ground there is Geary. Can't afford to go to ground. You can't really pin him for holding the ball there, umpire, and he doesn't. Common sense prevails, as Lexi Bennett was pleading for holding the ball. Do have to have some sort of opportunity to get rid of it. Bohm goes for the ruck, gets it decisively, but it's sharked there by Geary around the corner. But the mark has been taken there by Tausma. Haven't called his name too often, but he's been across that half-back line, and the half-back line for Belconnen is where most of their attacks have started from. Free kick or mark taken here by McGrath. McGrath goes down the line looking for his teammate. They're just very precise, Belconnen. Hector, about 80 metres from goal, will go to one of the tall targets down there. Loken's back on the ground and takes the mark. Why'd you take yourself off? You missed out on the opportunity previously. This is about the same spot where he kicked his last goal. So we'll go through take 2. Just got to hang it out to the left-hand side and have his natural hook bring it through the middle. kicked 8 goals. He's not going to be passing it, that's for sure, Brett.
Absolutely. As we ride this home, as he gets an opportunity to register his 9th and Belconnen's 14th, it's Matthew Loken fresh from a quick stint on the boundary line as he comes in, and I think he likes that off the boot, and it's just pushed it away to the right hand. He didn't let the natural arc take it away to the left hand post, so that's his second behind for the afternoon. We're not going to knock him too much after he's kicked a bag of 8, so Matthew Loken, he's really set the scene, the coach for the Belconnen Footy Club, and he's done a power of work with their midfield clearances. That's where I've been most impressed with them. They're playing a game it's going to hold up in September, and they're also playing an AFL style of game that's going to hold up well against the Swans. Their run and spread is very, very good, the Belconnen side, and they all know their roles, so this will augur well. That's why they're an improved side, and you can see their fitness levels. They all work really well to support each other. They know when to go and when not to go. But it's back to Bohm. Bohm gets a quick handball out towards Love. He's been very good in the centre square there. Love out to Bohm. He was tackled when not in possession by Clark from the Cats, but it's little Bunyan at the back of the pack, or is it Drewy McGrath from the boy from Terralgan? It is. He ruffled the feathers there of the Broadbeach Cats as the umpire elects to throw the ball up. It's Bohm v Clark. Taken whilst he was in the air was Luke Donoghue, who should have got a free kick. He didn't have possession of the footy, but the umpire's going to say, give it back to me. I'm going to throw it up again. He'll pick a free kick out of this in a minute. Neither side getting an effective clearance. It gets Clark. He's got first hands of the footy. It's out towards Lexi Bennett. Bennett drives the ball in towards that man in Des. Des goes to ground. As they've a couple of them have changed into the softer boots now. As you can see, the ground's dried up here. We saw the Broadbeach players underestimate the surface earlier, Michael. They were slipping and sliding all over the place. As we were always told, you bring 2 pair of boots, you bring your sprigs and you bring your softies. So it's Loken to do battle there with Jake Crawford. It looks like Crawford's gone back to him after kicking that earlier goal, but that's a good tackle there by Drew McGrath, and it was forced the ball to be spilled there as the Belconnen player in Curtis. But it's an opportunity now for the Broadbeach Cats to bring the ball down through the centre wing. I can't quite pick up who it is out there as he brings the ball through the middle of the corridor, looking towards that of Kieran Emery. Emery made a contest out. He was good enough to pick it back up, and he was just taken a little bit high there. I think it's Shreve, is it? Luke Shreve in the number 4 for the Broadbeach Cats, and he gets it down towards Cal Geary. Cal Geary gets an opportunity directly in front. And I see my co-commentator in Michael Neeson shaking his head furiously in the commentary.
Where were those rules 10, 15 years ago? I mean, I don't really think he was impeded too much, but the rules are rules, and you can't touch a player. But I just like seeing 2 men try and show a bit of strength. But the player here is Geary, could kick his second goal. Lucky second goal to Geary, in my opinion. There wasn't too much in that. The umpires are a little bit ticky-touchwood at times for mine, but I'm probably a dinosaur in today's modern game. It's definitely a different game to back when you and I were playing, Brett, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting, just even, without labelling it. I mean, it's still a very fast, hard game, but it is bruise-free football now, Michael. You're certainly not allowed to make the contact and the collision and the impact. There's nothing like it used to be, and yet we're still seeing a lot of knee injuries in the AFL that are just innocuous incidents. So the game, it's played at breakneck speed, and you can see that today out here between the two sides. That they are playing at a frantic pace, but just not the collision and the impact that used to be those some years ago. But back to the middle of the ground, it's Big Brewer. You wouldn't like to run into him in a dark alley, trust me, or out on the foot.
Well, you can with today's football because it'd be a free kick. So, I mean, you talk about free kicks, and there was an interesting discussion with Byron Pickett saying that he would not be able to play in today's game of football the way it's umpired. So, and he was a hard. It's got to be in the back to John Love. He was one of the hardest nuts. Not always eyes for the ball was Byron Pickett, but you definitely knew he was around the place. And John Love has the ball backward of the centre square, goes long. Surely he's looking for Loken, and why wouldn't you? He's marked everything that's come his way. Pretty unopposed there. Not quite sure how you'd leave a guy who's kicked 8 goals in less than 3 quarters alone in the forward pocket. So he's going to go back and kick from about a 45, 50 degree angle. A kick from just inside the 50. Journey shouldn't be a problem. Should be a question of accuracy. He's been very good so far today. 8 goals too. Kicks on its way. You'll know by his reaction he likes it. That's his 9th. And if he hasn't got 10 to 12 in his mind, then he's not a true full forward. Tell you what, if he gets the ball anywhere near that 50 arc, no one's going to be bothered leading, that's for sure. That's his 9th goal, and Belconnen move further in front. It's 14 goals, 10-94. 50-point margin here at Kepax. Broadbeach, they are on 6 goals, 8-44.
Absolutely. So it's a fantastic effort there to the coaching Loken. 9 goals in less than 3 quarters of football, so that augurs well for the end of the season. As you said, they've got a plethora of options up there, with York kicking 10 last week. Of course, we've also got young Bunyan, who's kick bobbed up with a couple inside the forward 50 there today. They've got a lot of options. As the ball's brought back to the middle of the ground, it's the 2 big fellas to go at it. It's Porter v Brewer. Brewer gets his hands to it first, and they've failed to get the takeaways from the middle of the ground. Have Broadbeach. They probably had first hands off the ruck, and it's only as far as that of Cam Campbell. No, it's Des out there now, and it's as we hear some echoes coming from the Broadbeach box of the coaching
it's taken
staff.
so long for them to get animated, actually. Their team's been pretty well humbled in this 3rd term.
Absolutely. Back to the footy anyway. It's Brewer who gets first hands of the footy. It's taken away there by Shreve. I think it's another Bennett. He has just not stopped racking up possessions. He gets the handball out towards that there of Bunyan. He was tripped. He's lucky not to give a 50-metre away, was the Broadbeach Cat, but he goes in there towards Porter. Porter was the clumsy attempt there to mark the footy out towards that of Adam McKenzie, the 50-gamer. The 50-gamer brings it back through the middle of the ground now as they get an opportunity to press forward to the Broadbeach side, and that was well punched away there, but in Taylor Haley, who's gone forward. Daniel Jordan's done a great job. He's been rock solid in the back half. The end of the former Tuggeranong product in Hancock. Hancock gets it over there towards Burton. Burton with a clever little kick, I think. No, it wasn't Burton. I think
Might
it
have
was
been Sheaf, has it?
It was Adam McConaughey, the former Sydney Uni captain. He gets an opportunity, yep, and he's
in
injured
trouble
in the process.
Yeah, it was McConaughey. It was a good goal. He's clutching at the back of his knee, and hopefully he's all right, because he's one of their prime movers, McConaughey, former Sydney Uni boy. But he gets the goal for Broadbeach. They needed that one. It's 14 goals, 10-94. Broadbeach is 7 goals, 8-50. As we keep the camera on McConaughey, looks in all sorts of trouble down there on the goal square. He's definitely clutching the back of his knee. Maybe you hope, if anything, it's a hamstring down there, but hopefully it's no knee damage. The game is going to stop as we just get a bit of an idea of what's wrong with McConaughey. They can ill afford him to go off, and I think they're calling for a stretcher. No, he's on his feet now, so that's a good sign for him. We'll just go through the goal scorers so far this afternoon. We're running out of ink here for Matthew Loken. He's kicked 9. Bunyan and York have 2, and Hector has 1. For Broadbeach, Calgary has 2. Singles to Crawford, Greeley, McConaughey, Burton, and the 50-gamer in Searle. So McConaughey's come off the ground, can be replaced immediately. And it looks like the number 10 in Jake Greeley are waiting to come on. As the umpire says, he can come on now.
Just there, he's gone through the back of the goal. He's not gone through the interchange gate.
He's done for the day.
He's done for the day.
I reckon he's done for the day.
He's just stretched it out there, so that was an interesting move there from the Broadbeach medical staff. They should have brought him off through the interchange gates in case something...
I just think they know he can't make any more impact on this game this afternoon. He's getting carried by 2 trainers, so his afternoon's finished. So it's going to be a pretty disappointing afternoon for Adam McConaughey, one of the better players for Broadbeach, and he's got a pretty sorry trip back to the bench, let alone back to Broadbeach, that's for sure.
Let's hope it's not too serious, because he's been a good player out there for the Broadbeach Cats, one of their prime movers. Not disputing that, Broadbeach have actually kicked 4 goals this quarter, so they've actually done quite well as we approach the 27-minute mark here at the Nest, Kepax Oval. I'm not sure I like the name The Nest, but it's something that's stuck there. Of course, the ball back to the middle of the ground. It's taken away there by Ryan Pantic. He's been one of the best for the Broadbeach Cats all day today. He's not stopped trying. That's a great pick up there by Burton, the number 15 in Burton, out towards Brewer. That's his first grab for the afternoon. Over to Burton again, the runner Burton, as they get it down through. Pantic, I think, drives the ball forward down towards there, only as far as Ryan rabs Turnbull. Turnbull gets the ball away to Jordan. Jordan into the headgear of Cope. Cope switches the ball across the field towards Loken, and that was a good grab going back with the flight of the footy. It was, I think it was Shreve out there. Was it the number 4? It was. Shreve drives the ball in towards Hancock, and it's beaten them all over there. Just struggled for that target. Maybe it's time to put the big fella in Brewer forward, give him something to aim up at. He's fresh off a 5-goal bag against the NT Thunder. Need to do something different. The small forwards aren't working down there for Broadbeach at the moment. As we bring it back in through boundary line throw in, it's Hancock to do battle with Porter. And it's taken away by Belconnen. Their clearance works sensational out towards Cope. Cope gets a run and bounce at the 50-metre arc. He gets a little poor toe stub out there only as far as Curtis. Curtis gets an opportunity to bring it inboard towards Hegarty. Hegarty right in the middle of the ground. He's racked up getting possessions this afternoon. Hegarty gets it down towards that of, it is Luke Donahue who gets it inside the forward 50. He's been run down there by Kieran Emery. Emery was the successor and the victor on that occasion. He gets it over to that man in Luke Shreve. I've really liked his game this afternoon. Michael Shreve, he's been good. Over to another one that I've also liked is Pantic. He's been good. He's been busy all day. Pantic only as far as that of Matthew Sharp. Sharp over to Hegarty. Hegarty out towards that of Sharp. They're playing 1-2, 1-2. He rides the bump, Sharp, but only as far as the boundary line throw in. And they're a very even side, the Belconnen Magpies, Michael.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're working well together this afternoon. First time I've seen them this year, and I'm very, very impressed with how they're going about their business. They look polished, they look clean, and they're pretty hungry after a disappointing 2012, and they will be a team to watch as the year goes further. Porter's on the ground trying to get the ball out. He does so now. But they seem to have the numbers at the contest to Belconnen. Donohue's in there for Belconnen. Picked up by Broadbeach, though, in the hands of Burton. What will he do? Goes on the right-hand side of his body. Good mark taken there. It might have been by the former Tuggeron boy in Hancock. Again, it's in their forward line. They just don't have that key target down there to straighten them up. Picked up now by Curtis. Curtis gets the ball outside the defensive zone for Belconnen. Tap down now. Broadbeach can mount another attack. Geary got the handball across to his teammate there in Ellis. But there's no one down there to kick to. And the mark has been taken there by Cam Campbell. We're not saying there's no one to kick to. No one really presenting with any authority down there for Broadbeach to make the decision an easy one for the ball carrier. But Belconnen, they just sort of mop this sort of stuff up all afternoon. The kick's out towards Love, and Jai Bohm takes a nice mark. Plays on immediately. They've definitely had a quick game style today. Coate now. Got the handball from Donohue. Goes down the line, and it's a good mark taken there by Dess. Probably one of the quieter games for Andrew Dess. He hasn't really had to work too hard. Loken down there. Ball has been dropped there by the Broadbeach player. And he tries to give Loken a little bit what to do, and Loken sort of says he ducked his head because he was a bit scared of him coming. And when you kick 9 goals, you can have a bit of lip, that's for sure. Not too much the Broadbeach defenders can do today with Matthew Loken. Rumours, though, doesn't mind having a conversation on the field, does Matthew Loken?
He certainly engages in some pleasantries with the opponents. He has got a reputation amongst some players, and it was quite interesting to see the behaviour of some of the players towards Matty Loken. Of course, not shy of a word. But getting back to your point, what is happening is the Broadbeach Cats players aren't putting any doubt into the Belconnen defenders. They're playing. They're just not moving about. They're not moving. They're not any touch and feel. They're not playing in front. So they're allowing the Belconnen defender to actually set the scene. They're not playing with any authority. But back to the footy, as it's Belconnen again out towards as they raffle it between Bennett and Dess, and both of them drop the mark. It goes out towards Bunyan. Bunyan back to Loken. If you don't mind sidestep, is that 10? Yes, it is. You betcha. There's number 10 for Matthew Loken. Easy as it comes. He sidestepped them all. He made them all look silly out there. I think he might have the last word and the last laugh, Michael. But that's 10 to Matthew Loken. That's a fantastic effort in 3 quarters of footy. Quite a long quarter. 32 minutes gone in this third quarter. It's Belconnen skipping away as they bring it out to another 50-point margin. It's 15-10-100 to Broadbeach 7-8-50.
Big afternoon. Anytime you kick 10 goals as a full forward, it's a great achievement. 50-point margin here at Kipax. They really haven't had anybody of note to go down on Loken. It's just been too big, too strong, too smart at ground level as well. Probably the only guy that's got size enough to go down there would be the ruckman in Brewer, but I don't quite think he'd have the agility or the nous to handle Loken. Very smart footballer. Had a lot of experience at a higher level than this one. Rory Walton, though, ex-Claremont boy, gets the ball out of the middle, goes towards the former Tuggeron player in Hancock. Can't find the handle. Picked up there by the Belconnen player in coat. Kick towards goal by Broadbeach into the goal square. This is where the big fella should dominate. Didn't take the mark, looking for a teammate. He really should have taken that mark once he got rid of his opponent there in Brewer. But the ball hit the breadbasket and bounced straight out. And when you're struggling for form, as he has so far today, those opportunities you need to grasp with both hands. He couldn't. But the ball is deep in the Broadbeach forward line. Brewer trying to make amends, can't do so in the ruck. But this is where Belconnen have been really good all afternoon. They've always had the numbers down there in defence. And no, it's not Campbell, it was Turnbull. Got the ball out. Curtis now kicks it long and strong. It's a good-looking kick. Mark taken there by Bunyan. And he's going to play on, but the siren beats him. And it's a very impressive end to the third term by Belconnen. Broadbeach got the first goal, but then Belconnen through Loken got the next 4. And at three-quarter time here at Kippax, it's 15 goals, 10, 100 to Broadbeach, 7 goals, 850. Start of the last term here at Kippax. It's the home side leading by 50 points, 15 goals, 10, 100. Broadbeach, 7 goals, 850. Loken has 10 for the home side, so he'll be looking at a few more before the day's out. Dest comes through though, the big centre half forward. Ball's in the hands now of Bennett. Kicks around the corner, looking for Curtis. Curtis will get and go. Around the right-hand side, looking for York. York, good punch away by the Broadbeach defence, but they've got all the crummers to Belconnen, but the ball is out of bounds as that ball hits the inside of the goalpost. Not a bad shot. Not going to count for anything though. We'll have a throw in just back of the scoreboard, which is a very healthy scoreboard if you're a Magpie fan. Not so much if you're a Cat fan. 15, 10, 100 to Belconnen. 7 goals, 850 to Broadbeach. And Brett, you'd reckon that the coaching staff of Broadbeach would have just said, let's go out there, have a good, honest effort and win this last term to take something home with.
Absolutely. They failed to win a quarter of footy down here after making the effort. That's out to Geary. Geary gets a quick handball away. I've liked him. He looks a likely prospect, but I'm not sure he's been played in the right position. It's only as far as Bomb. He's filled in admirably as the second ruckman today. He's been very good as Jai Bomb. Out towards there, the run of the Hegarty, who's been another standout performer there for the Magpies. Out there towards Cam Campbell, but there's an umpire's whistle. I think it's continued to play on out towards Bunyan, the fast-running Bunyan, who's worked hard inside that forward 50 for the he puts pressure on the Broadbeach defender as it's right in front of the commentary box here. It ends up in the hands of the number 23, Nick Scott. Scott goes inboard and he follows it up through there. It's Adam McKenzie, the 50 gamer. He switches the ball further afield as they get it. They share it around. I think it's the other 50 gamer in Searle, but it's out there towards Josh Clark. Dropped what he should have taken, but he's got plenty of time out there. He puts it down towards that of the other big fella in number 5 and Jake Crawford, and it was only as far as Cody's mopped up everything that's gone on the ground today. He's been very good on the ground. Over there towards Rory Walton, of course, we've mentioned him a couple of times. It trickles over the boundary line there. We'll get a boundary line throw in. But we were speaking off the air there. Belconnen looked very even. 2 standouts, probably Loken and Bennett, but the rest of them are very even side, and I've a lot to like about the Belconnen Magpies in season 2013.
Yeah, there certainly are, and obviously the message that Loken tried to put forward to the group last year is finally sinking in. So all of his hard work of 2012 is coming to fruition so far at the start of the 2013 campaign. And they look very, very ominous to the Belconnen Magpies. Look very hungry. Obviously, they wouldn't have been happy. They're a proud club, would not have been happy with last season. The ball goes through for a minor score for Broadbeach. So today we'll move Belconnen to 6 wins and 2 losses. That's a fantastic start. They would not have wished for a better start, surely, at the start of the campaign. Broadbeach will go back home 2-6, and their season looks to be going away from them as they look further away from that top 5. They've mentioned that they've, off air with some of their coaching staff, they've put together 3 good quarters and they've had a 15-minute patch of poor footy or a bad quarter. They really haven't been amongst it in this first 3 quarters here at Kippax. It's been all Belconnen. And you just wonder with this last term, what will Belconnen do? Will they take the foot off the pedal and sort of cruise through to the final siren? Or will they look for some percentage? Because they really are in a position to go home with a really, really valuable percentage-boosting win as the ball is in the hands of Love. Kicks it around the corner. It's only as far as the player there in Fife. Fife pleaded for the mark. Goes straight back to Love. Bit of tennis going on between those two. Bennett now, the silky skills of Bennett. Goes to Loken. He'd be high on confidence, would Loken. Kicks into the goal square. Who's there for Belconnen? It's a 2-on-1 contest. Wasn't a great kick there by Loken. Probably his first mistake of the day. Picked off there by Wells. Not good. Goal there to Belconnen in Hector. That's his second. And Belconnen get the first goal of the last term. They move to 16 goals, 10-106. To Broadbeach, 7 goals, 9-51. And not for the first time, some poor efforts there by the Broadbeach players.
Absolutely, but you could just see that the pressure of York put doubt in the Broadbeach defenders, and that's what we were saying earlier. The Broadbeach forwards aren't putting any doubt into the mind of the Belconnen defenders, and that's what you've got to do as a forward. You put doubt into the defender's mind, either by movement, by pressure, by touch, by feel, just sensing. And as you would well know, they just have failed to put any sort of one-on-one pressure all over the ground. That's why Broadbeach are going to go away with their tail between the legs. But we'll see how Belconnen, how good they are, because they want to go for the jugular here, as Loken's full of confidence with 10 as the big boys go back at it in the middle of the ground. And that man, Bennett, I reckon he's racked up clearances today. And it's only as far as Ben Wells. Wells gets it away with a poor kick out there. They've really broken down across half forward. Benny Hancock's been tried a lone hand up there in the forward half. It's out there towards, I think it's Geary, is it? No, it's not Geary. It is the 23 and Scott. Scott out towards Hancock, right on cue. He's looked lively up forward all day today, but that's the former Tuggeranong's first for the day. So Ben Hancock really starting to settle into that Broadbeach lineup. He kicks his first for the afternoon, and he kicks Broadbeach's 8th, so that's or their 9th. So that's a good reward for effort for Ben Hancock, the former Tuggeranong player, with his first season up there at Broadbeach. But it's Belconnen 16-10, 106, 8-9, 57. Of course, other round 10 games today, all finishing today because the representative side goes into camp again tonight. It's the Swans versus Ainslie at Ainslie Oval. It's Eastlake playing Uni at Star Trek Oval, and of course the Eagles against Tuggeranong out at Greenway. Interesting couple of clashes out there, and of course Queanbeyan, they take on Werribee at Etihad on Tuesday night. So best of luck to Queanbeyan in the Foxtel Cup. Hope they can get over it. They're just in a little bit of a down spot at the moment with a couple of injuries to key players, but if any club will bounce back, it'll be the Tigers. So as we get back to the footy here, it's Cam Campbell. He's been a solid contributor all day. He's a very improved footballer, is Cameron Campbell. Also doubles up as the general manager for the Belconnen Magpies, and it's a handball in there to Shreve. He's just died out of it in this last 40 minutes, but he gets it over to the other hard worker in Jake Greeley. And he's starting to get a bit of reward for effort, these youngsters in Shreve and Greeley. They've got a couple of nice youngsters, Michael, and there's a bit to work there with the coach Matt Angus and of course Wayne Pettard, the father of Ricky Pettard. They've got a proud history, the Broadbeach Cats, as we look through some of their players that have been drafted through their program. Of course, their greatest export is Nick Regwalt. Of course, David Hale, the former North Melbourne, now Hawk. And of course, Dane Zorko, the boy that's at the Lions. He was a former Broadbeach player and was a superstar for the Broadbeach Cats. So, of course, Ricky Pettard played for them, and they've got a couple of other players. Joel Wilkinson, who's on the Suns list. So, a proud club that's producing AFL footballers, are the Broadbeach Cats. They won't be down for too long, but a good reward for effort there to Jake Greeley.
Yeah, they definitely are a proud club. We had a chat to some of their people before the game, and financially they're not quite up to speed with some of the other clubs, even up there and down here. But they do a lot of work with sponsorship, and we know, coming from the Queanbeyan Tigers, that trying to get sponsorship for football teams when it's not their major code is a really, really difficult task. And they're doing a great job up there. They just need to get a bit of reward on the football field. They've definitely got some talent out there, but unfortunately today they've just left a little bit too much to too few, and it's just been the same names popping up for Broadbeach far too often. Need to spread the workload a bit more, as Greeley's got his tail up after kicking that goal, but the handball's not a good one. Cut off by Love. Love goes towards Loken, and there he is again. Matthew Loken. We think he's kicked 10. We'll get confirmation of that a bit later on. Maybe a bit dubious, some of the reports of the first goal that he kicked, but we thought it was his. So we've got him down for 10. I guess this will be a key component to whether he has got 10 by his reaction here, because we know as a full 40, if you kick 10, you don't mind getting around the players. Loken, he's kicked pretty well so far today. That one looks pretty good also, and that could well be his 11th goal today. And Matthew Loken is playing a starring role here at Kipax. 17 goals, 10, 112 to Broadbeach, 9-9-63. 9 minutes gone in this last term.
A starring role, as you said out there, we'll give him 11. It sounds better if he get 11. There is some contention over the first goal. The cameraman Barnes, he thinks it was Destin, the first goal scorer. We think he's kicked 11. We'll give him 11 because he's been an absolute star out there today inside the forward 50, Matthew Loken. That's a fantastic individual effort. To kick 10 goals in any game is a fantastic effort. Of course, they've been dominant in the centre square. John Love and James Bennett have just racked up getting clearances in the middle of the ground. They've been fantastic in there as the umpire bounces it up again. It's out towards Bomb. He gets it first hands down towards that man right on cue, Bennett, and towards the other bloke on cue in Johnny Love. He's been very good for the Magpies today. Just a solid body. That's what the Broadbeach Cats have missed as they work inside the forward 50 here. He's going to have a shot at goal as John Love. He'd be 45 out. He's going to have to get onto it. It's just outside his distance. He gets up and under it, and he gets an opportunity for the Broadbeach Cats to take an easy mark, if you don't mind, and it's taken there by Darren Stewart. Stewart brings it across there to Luke Shreve. Really liked his game today, the number 4 for the Broadbeach Cats. Probably hasn't hurt him enough because he's taken them all across half-back, but that's a good kick down towards the centre of the wing there, and it's out towards there of Hancock. He falls over, and he's got a free kick there. He's been legged. The umpire has said Blake Towsman has legged him on the way through. So the former Tuggeranong player in Benny Hancock, he brings it down towards that of Crawford. He got a bath early off Matthew Loke and they switched him forward. He got a nice goal there, but at the left footer of Crawford. Crawford brings the ball inside there to no man's land, and it allows, that is Daniel Jordan, who's done another good solid job in the back half there. He gets it down to the improving Bone. Bone brings it down towards the centre wing towards Harper. Got a couple of their kids that are coming along nicely, the Belconnen Magpies. They'd be well pleased with them. Here's another one of them fresh from the under-22 NEAFL representative side is Geordie Harper. That's good exposure for him. He brings it back inside the centre square across there to Rabs Turnbull. Turnbull brings it across in turn there towards, I think it's Lexi Bennett out there, is it? No, it's not Lexi Bennett. It's just brought across there towards the run there of Nick Collins. Collins gets his head down in towards Coate, who's been serviceable all day. Coate with the left foot down towards that man in Bunyan. Bunyan, the number 26 for the Belconnen Magpies, is right on 50. He's looked lively inside the forward 50. Bunyan gets an opportunity, he just drops it into the drop zone towards Dest, and he was impeded upon there. That was good defensive play there by Darren Stewart. It's beat all comers. We'll have a boundary line thrown right next to the point post. It's Belconnen 17-10-112, Broadbeach 9-9-63. It looks like the Magpies are going to sew up second spot there, Michael. And they've set themselves up well, as you suggested. They were 5-2, so it's out to Bennett. That was a good tackle, ball and all, as the umpire has seen it that way too. That's a perfect copybook tackle taken there by Benny Wells. He gets an opportunity to drive Broadbeach further down the ground as he elects to go down towards that of Walton, but it's Coate who just dropped that ball. That should have been a free kick there towards Rory Walton, but not to worry, there's a free kick to the Broadbeach player for in the back, as Geordie Harper just laid on the back there of Geary, I think it is out there. No, it wasn't Geary, it's out there towards the run of Nick Scott. And that's just, it allowed Belconnen to get numbers around the contest. It's Telsma over to Coate again. Coate by hand out towards that of Turnbull, out towards Telsma. Telsma out towards Turnbull again as they get it inboard out through McGrath. McGrath in towards the number 1 in Luke Donahue, but the umpire has seen that it's going to go towards Nick Burton. He's been very good in the last half, Michael.
Yeah, he has. Unfortunately, when the side needed him the most, he sort of wasn't quite amongst it. Belconnen just been just a yard too quick, a few kilos too big, definitely too big and too strong here this afternoon. Mark taken here by Fife, plays on with the right boot. It's a nice pass, good lead up there by Crawford. Crawford now with that awkward kicking style with the left footer, goes out towards his teammate in Geary, but he's too good there for Harper. Geary goes to the goal square, players loose in there, and that is Hancock. I'm not quite sure how a player can be sitting there in the goal square on his Pat Malone, but Hancock has an opportunity to kick his second and does, and he gets a nice reward for his afternoon. He's been one of the better players here for Broadbeach. But unfortunately, on the scoreboard, they are still a fair way behind. It's 17 goals, 10, 112. Broadbeach are 10 goals, 9, 69. Just ticked across the 14-minute mark of this last term. And I think if you're a Broadbeach player, you'd be pretty keen to hear that final siren, Brett.
Absolutely. But he's been very good today, Ben Hancock, down there for the Broadbeach Cats. He's tried to present hard. He hasn't had much support down there. But they've battled away manfully. They've had 19 shots at goal, Michael. So, that's not a bad afternoon. They just need to convert and make the most of those opportunities just to keep the footy a little bit simple. But it's the big fella in Brewer back into the middle of the ground. He's going to go at it with Porter. The two big monsters go at it. And then there's another quick tap out there. It's out towards that of Quick. He started off nicely. Quick gets the handball out to the defender. And there's a free kick. And a whistle's gone. I'm not quite sure what that was for. Maybe it was a push after he was kicked, dispossessed the football. Yeah, it's coming back. I thought the kick goes further down the field. It should have been Crawford that takes that kick, but it won't be. It's going to be the number 10 in Jake Greeley. He's been a solid contributor for the Broadbeach Cats as Greeley. Greeley gets an opportunity to drive it inside the 50. Brewer, the big fellow, was down there, but he dropped what he should have taken. It's out there towards Walton. Walton tried a quick kick. It's out towards, really got to improve his work rate as the big fella in Turner. So it's out there towards the run of Belconnen. They allowed to take it away out towards York, and that's a free kick. I think the umpire's picked a free kick for chopping the arms out at centre wing. Is that? No, he's called it out of bounds on the... It's very difficult to see up from the commentary box here at Kipax, but it is a boundary line throw in centre wing. It's Brewer to do battle with Porter. He gets the hands to it first with Big Brewer, only as far as that of Benny Wells. Benny Wells gets the clearance out of the middle of the ground for the Broadbeach Cats, and that's a good grab there to Hancock. You've been quite good up there, Michael, today, as Ben Hancock, the former Tuggeranong player.
Yeah, he's given them a target when he's gone down there. He's kicked two already. Kicked this one from just inside 50. Kicks on its way. It's not a bad looking kick off the boot. That's a really nice goal there to Ben Hancock. Gets his third. And Broadbeach continue to put in the effort here in this last term. It's Belconnen, 17 goals, 10, 112. To Broadbeach, 11 goals, 975. And you wonder whether it's a combination of Broadbeach's pride or Belconnen just putting the cue away. Because right now, Broadbeach are showing a bit more fight than they have in the first three terms, Brett.
Absolutely, and they're on track to win this quarter, so you'd be well pleased if you were the Broadbeach coaching staff if they can get up and win this quarter, and they've they've come away with it. Is it a case of Belconnen putting the cue in the rack, or they're just persevered? So they've got a lot of upside about them, the Broadbeach Cats. Michael?
Yeah, probably just a couple of key players short. You'd love to have a key centre half forward and maybe a full forward. Not sure from what we've seen today. Brewer's not really a full forward for mine. He's just a little bit too much of a dinosaur, and Ruck's probably his go. He's been pretty good in there since he went to Ruck, and Broadbeach look like they're going to get another opportunity to put some scoreboard pressure on through Hancock. And if the last two efforts are anything to go by, we can just about chalk this one down as a major. And that would be his fourth goal. And while he hasn't played down there the whole day, you walk away with 4 goals, you've definitely done your role.
That's what you'd call a solid contribution. Benny Hancock, we ride this one home directly in front. And that's another good goal to Ben Hancock. That's his 4th. That's the Broadbeach Cats' 5th for the quarter. As they put some respectability back on the scoreboard, it's 17-10, 112 Belconnen. Broadbeach 12-9, 81. It's a 5-goal game. 18-minute mark. Have they left their run too late? They've started to get their hands on the foot in the middle of the ground. The Broadbeach Cats, they're going to go down swinging here at Kipax Oval.
If they get another one out of this centre clearance, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. You wouldn't think so, 5 goals down, but stranger things have happened. You only got to cast your mind back a couple of weeks ago when Port Adelaide played the West Coast Eagles down by 41, and they've come home with a wet sail and got over the top too. So, well, we could have something that we weren't expecting about 20 minutes ago. Fight back by Broadbeach, 17-10, 112. 12 goals, 981. The big fella's made a difference in the middle in this last term. He's got his hands on the football. Belconnen, Porter just spins him around and round and round, and you can't be spun around a couple of times without making an effort. Good work there by the ruckman in Porter. gets it by hands. A poor looking kick into the forward line. Good mark taken down there. Didn't know what was coming behind him, did the Broadbeach player, and the kick is out towards that impressive player in Geary. Geary takes and go. He's on the wing, grandstand side, takes one bounce, kicks it in the middle of the ground. Who's there for him? It's his teammate there in Wells. The former Frankston boy gets on the left boot, goes long and strong. There's no one down there, and boom, wraps it up nicely for Belconnen. That was an opportunity that we were talking about. Porter gets it off to Turnbull. Turnbull will just slow the pace down. That's what Belconnen need to do, just control the tempo. Goes through the middle. Mistake's been made. Who's there for Broadbeach? Nobody's there except Harper. Gets it to Bennett. Bennett across to his teammate. They've got some space out wide now. And Curtis. Curtis goes short. It's not a good looking kick. Too short for Dest. Doesn't like it around his ankles. Who would at 6'5"? Free kick's going to be paid. And it's going to go to Belconnen. Did he dive in there, Brett? I didn't quite see that one.
I think he's played it for a leg there, so that's Luke Donoghue who's going to get the free kick. But Broadbeach, just with some of their decision making, just let them down at the last minute. He hands it off to Loken. He's going to go for 12. That it is. Number 12 for Matthew Loken, if you don't mind. He's had a day out here at Kipax Oval as the coach. Matthew Loken, he kicks his 12th. He kicks Belconnen's 19th, and I think that's the sealer, Michael.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's Loken 12-2, Broadbeach 12-9. Close game if you're only talking about those two things. But unfortunately, Belconnen, that might well be the game in the basket for them. It's 18 goals, 10, 118 to Broadbeach, 12 goals, 981. And he has been, if not the main difference in the game, Matthew Loken. He's been probably in the top two best players on the ground along with James Bennett for mine. Matthew Loken, anytime you kick 12 goals, he's going to have a really enjoyable evening this evening, that's for sure. And I'm pretty sure he'll be able to talk his teammates through every single one of those 12 goals.
Well, I'll be joining Matthew this evening, so I'll report back next week as to how he enjoys the evening. And it's out towards Bennett, Lexi Bennett. He's been another solid contributor for the Magpies. Out towards Bunyan, liked his work inside the 50. Of course, out to that man in James Bennett. He's knocked up getting clearances, but that's a free kick there to the Gold Coast player. But he's seen it the other way, the umpire. That's an interesting decision. It's out towards Bunyan. He's got the free kick because he was first in at the footy. That's why he got the free kick. Down towards York. York had the ball punched away by Nick Ellis. It was taken away by the Gold Coast defender into the hands of Pantic. He's been another solid contributor. Over to the run there of Shreve. Shreve drops what he should have taken. Out towards Geordie Harper. Out towards Bennett, who just gets his hands above the pack yet again. Out towards Curtis. Curtis with a handball over to Donoghue. Donoghue gets a quick handball out towards it's Bunyan. Bunyan gets it towards the goal line there. I think that was over the line, but the big fella in Brewer, he got back in the last line, and it's going to be taken in by Nick Ellis. He brings it in quickly towards that man in Quick. Go quickly if you don't mind, son. Out towards that of Taylor Haley. Haley right in front of the broadcast box here at Kipax Oval. Over towards there of Hancock. Out towards Crawford. He dropped what he should have taken as the sun shines brightly in his eyes. There might have been a reflection out there as Jake Crawford probably should have taken that. His confidence is a little bit down as he got a bit of a troweling early from Matthew Loken. It'll be interesting to see if he gets an opportunity for 13, whether we can replicate the 13 from Anthony Hudson.
I'll do my best, mate.
Back to the play here at Kipax. It's the 22nd minute mark of the final quarter. Belconnen 18-11, 119 to Broadbeach 12-9-81. Of course, round 10 action all in Canberra this week. It is the Swans taking on Ainsley Football Club, Eastlake taking on Uni at Star Trek Oval, and it is Tuggeranong taking on the Eagles. So some interesting clashes to come out of that one. It'll really won't have much impact on the ladder. Maybe the Uni can climb above Eastlake. So that's a real battle out there. The ever-improving university. They've got some nice players, got a handful of ex-Dockers and Waffle players, so they're really on the improve out there at the Uni. But it's back to the footy here as Brewer got his hands on the footy. It's out towards that of Pantic. Pantic was slung to the ground, out towards the hard-working Luke Shreve, and the beats all comers over the boundary line, and the umpire signals it that way. They're still in front this quarter, the Broadbeach Cats, despite of the heroics of Matthew Loken. 5-1 to 3 goals straight to Belconnen. As it's out towards Big Brewer, he gets it only as far as the Belconnen player and Curtis, and he runs the ball over the line. So what have you liked about Broadbeach's game today, Michael?
Oh, give me the hard question. Thanks for that, Brett. Look, they've definitely had a few tries. I just don't think they've had the spread that Belconnen have had. They were definitely a bit slow out of the blocks in both the first and second terms. They've definitely tried hard, no doubt about it. They're still trying hard as they lay that tackle there. Good work there by Matt Fyfe. They've got some really good smalls. I do like Shreve. Hancock's been good up in the forward line, particularly in the second half. McConaughey was really, really good until he got that knee injury. Hopefully his knee is not as bad as what it looked. Pantic's been really impressive as well, but unfortunately for them, they really haven't had a dominant big man. I reckon that's been the key component for them. Belconnen have had the dominant tools all over the ground. They've worked really hard as a group, Broadbeach, but too many of their players have got their stats in the back half, and that's not going to be beneficial on the scoreboard, as the big fella in Crawford, who definitely were down on confidence. He had 4 or 5 kicked on him early by Loken, misses to the left-hand side, and Bennett will bring the ball back in for the Magpies. Goes short, and Belconnen just slowing the tempo down. They got the game well within their reach. Looked a little bit, we got a bit excited about 5 minutes ago, but that was squashed pretty quickly by Belconnen. Coate, he's been pretty serviceable today. I reckon he's been solid. Just gets on that left boot. Not much of a kick. Did that go 15? I wouldn't have thought so, but they've given a free kick to Harper. It was pretty lucky. When two bodies meet like that, that's just two players going for the ball. Harper gets it by hand to McGrath. McGrath, not a good kick. Interception there by Emery. Gets it by hand across to Greeley. Greeley goes wide, and that's been their problem today too. They really haven't stuck to the spine. They've searched out wide for their avenues to goal, and it's a long way to goal when you keep kicking the ball out to there. And the Belconnen half back line, as we've said a couple of times, Brett, they've just sweat on the mistakes, and for their benefit, the mistakes have happened on a quite regular basis.
Absolutely. They know when to peel off, and they know when to make it very difficult. They don't allow the opponent to get goal side, but it's out towards Tausma. He brings it in towards that of Daniel Jordan. He's been very impressive out there towards Cam Campbell, out towards Hector. He's a good story for 2013. Hector, the boy from Tarragona, over towards Turnbull. Turnbull gets it across out there to Love. They're just a hard-working unit. They work very well for each other. A bit of hunger back out of the nest out there. It was a poor kick. McGrath was good enough to get it onto the inside of the boot there, down towards that of, I think it's Sharp there, and they're working very hard at the footy. Out towards Love. He shuffles it out towards that of Geordie Harper. Harper goes backwards into the arms of Bunyan. No, it's not Bunyan, it's Turnbull. Out towards Coate. They're just racking up possessions between them also. Coate with a poor kick there, only as far as Rory Walton. He dribbled it along the ground. They're playing ping pong out there at the moment. You can see why it gets the name aerial ping pong, but it's out towards Tausma. He shuffles the handball out towards that of Turnbull again. He gets the run through the middle of the ground, looking for that man. Is he going to get the golden 13? It's Loken with an opportunity on the left foot. He puts it down. It's intercepted by Big Brewer. Brewer gets it only as far by hand to Matt Fyfe, the former Wagga Tiger. It's out to Brewer. He gets an opportunity only as far as Hector. He gets pushed in the back as he gets rid of the footy, and they get some forward pressure inside there at the 27-minute mark. Is Loken get an opportunity at 13? I'm not so sure, but it's the umpire has pulled out a free kick here to the Broadbeach Cat in Ryan Pantic. He's been very serviceable for the Broadbeach Cats as Pantic.
One of their better players is Pantic. Only takes one opportunity for 13, does Loken. Still got enough time, you'd think. How many goals have been scored this quarter, Brett? 8 goals, so there'll be a little bit of time. Probably a couple of minutes to go. Broadbeach try and get the ball out of defence. Pantic now, probably their best player for mine, goes down the line, and this has been their problem. They really haven't had a tall player to take a mark to save themselves today, and Crawford's got his hands to a few, just hasn't been able to hold on to them. The former Gold Coast boy, but has not had one of his better afternoons today. Was torn to shreds early by Loken, but on Loken's form today, he'd tear many defender to shreds. Good work there by Fyfe. Gets the ball out of the pack, but it's only going to go far as Coate gets a kick of sorts out towards Curtis. Curtis in the middle of Kipax goes out wide to Tausma. Tausma can run. Another short little kick towards the forward player there in Bunyan, but it's been intercepted well there by Broadbeach, and that player is Wells. He's got a bit of a football, the former Frankston boy. Gets the ball in the middle now. This is where they just don't seem to have direction or any conviction with what they're doing going forward. Ball goes out towards the player there in Greeley. He's going to be beaten to it by Campbell. Campbell by hand to Bennett. Bennett Good skills normally. That's not a good one. Is searching for Curtis. Player from Broadbeach goes straight to ground. You've got to keep your feet, son. And you're going to be in all sorts of trouble as Belconnen have the numbers. Coat can't find the handle. Gets it back over towards Curtis. The whistle's gone. And the umpire says, not quite sure what he picked there because I couldn't see what the umpire signalled. And it will be a free kick to Broadbeach.
He legged him, I think, so it's taken away there by Josh Shirl, the 50 gamer. Of course, with a goal to his name, and it's out towards there of, I think it's Luke Shreve out there, is it? Shreve brings the ball inside the forward 50, looking for a big grab from one of the forwards as Bennett just floats back inside there towards Collins. He gets it away over to James Bennett, over to Harper as they play 1-2, just playing keepings off at the moment. It's across to Curtis. Curtis into the hands of Love. They share the footy around to the Magpies. Love over to Lexi Bennett. Lexi Bennett, of course, brings the ball down through centre wing, looking for the runner. Big Porter. This will be a big one to pick it up. He bent down and he was taken there by Kieran Emery. I don't know which way the umpire will see it, but he's going to ball it up. He didn't really get an opportunity. He put it down to his feet. It's a long way down there for big Matty Porter as the umpire balls it up directly on the centre wing here at Kippax Oval. It's just kept in there by Rory Walton. It's the 30-minute mark. It's into the hands of Hancock. It's Hancock who bring the ball back into Luke Shreve. Let's hope Luke Shreve can finish off his good work and they can win the quarter here, the Broadbeach Cats, Michael.
He's going to have to kick it after the siren from outside 50. It's not a bad looking kick, but searching for the distance, the accuracy's not quite there. And it's a minor score to Luke Shreve. He was definitely one of the better players for Broadbeach, but the siren, as you heard, has gone. The game is over here at Kippax. It's a resounding win to the home side. 18 goals 11, 119 to Broadbeach, 12 goals 11, 83.